Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 4 of the YeeHaw Lads Podcast. Got an exciting schedule for you guys today. We got all 4 hosts back in studio. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. What do we want to talk about first? I think we talk about the trip to Washington we took 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah. A little over 2 years
A little
ago.
over. Yeah, we just got back like a week ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Oof.
Are we also talking about the fact that we finished the video?
That would be a good thing to talk about,
Okay.
considering that's what we're here
This
to
is
talk
true.
about.
Okay,
Figured that
fair
was the main
enough.
point.
And it is going up the podcast channel, correct?
So it is going on
Yeah.
this the YouTube channel, the YeeHaw Lads Podcast channel. We've got a trailer cut and a full length. I think it's 2 hours and like 10 or something.
It is
2:40.
2 hours and 34 minutes.
Holy cow. Okay, 2 hours
Yes.
34. I was way off.
Yeah.
Those will both be going up on the channel. The current plan is to drop the trailer the day after this podcast goes live. That would be Wednesday. And then we'll drop the full video on Friday. So we got the whole weekend to watch it.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
You want to kick it off, Andy, since this was
Yeah.
kind of your brainchild of an idea to start
Somewhat,
with?
yeah. So I stole this from the Smoking Tire YouTube and podcast with Matt Farah and Zach Clapman.
And Thaddeus Brown at that
Yeah,
time.
Thaddeus Brown was the idea maker of it, but the podcast and YouTube are Matt and
Yeah.
Zach.
He was universally known for having bad ideas that sounded really fun.
Yeah, and they decided to make a movie of it, and I watched it, and I was like, "Damn, I got to show Brian and Marcus this." This is before I met you, Nick. No offense.
No, I know.
And so
roasted.
we came over. It was like winter time, and we were hanging out at Brian's house. I'm like, "We got to watch this," and so we all watched it, and I'm like, "Yeah, we should like do this trip." This was like January of 19, I think.
Yeah, it'd either be December or January, somewhere right at the end of or like the beginning of 19.
Yeah, because we prepped for a year before we even left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
But
that
yeah.
was the same day that Marcus had brought his VR over, and we
Yeah.
all pretty much
Yep,
used
yep.
it for the first time, other than I
Yeah.
think me.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so that their movie was called All Cars Go to Heaven, and it was basically how it's a story about how cars develop souls and how people kind of get like attached to cars and stuff, and they kind of try to explain that over how I think their movie's like an hour and a half, but it wasn't nearly as many days put into it as ours was, so that's why ours was so much longer. But yeah, they bought a cheap car and then it died, and then they bought another really cheap car and that lived. They also had a rental car, and just kind of they really compared the two with what ended up being a Toyota Tercel, like little front wheel drive piece of shit 5-speed, and then at the time brand new like 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And they eventually just kind of played out the story of like, oh, like this old car has already, taken a newborn home for the first time and drove somebody to graduation of high school and this and that. But this brand new rental car has no soul. And so basically their whole story was kind of, talking, just kind of getting more into the stories of cars.
Kind of showing how a car develops a character path.
Yes,
I
exactly.
do.
Because cars have personalities.
Every dent, every scratch.
Exactly.
It tells a story of the previous owners and the life this car has lived, other than when you got it. You could buy something that you've never seen before, and you can understand the life it's been through.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think it also a lot had to do with the fact of these cars we're either going to buy them or they're going to go to the junkyard and they're going to get crushed.
Right, yeah, they're almost at the
And
end
so
of their lifespan anyway.
It was
so
kind
it's-
of a send off to all these vehicles that they did and went through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
send off is a good term for it. It's
Yeah.
one last hoorah for this car. Give it everything it has.
Yes,
See
exactly.
what it has left in it.
Yeah. So after watching that movie, though, I was really inspired, and like, I don't know, I like doing crazy, weird shit all
Yeah.
the time.
Like ADHD or
Yeah,
or
something
ACOCHD.
along those lines. And so yeah, I brought up to them. I'm like, what if we do this? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, let's fly out to Washington and buy cheap cars, and then let's drive through the state, do their same route called the Washington Backcountry Discovery Route, and then on the way home, let's just hit all the cool places to stop at. And then we just kind of took that and ran with it, and we ended up going out Memorial Day weekend. So early first week of June on
2021, because the original
yeah.
plan was to do it in
that's
2020.
right. Yes.
But June of 2020 was a nightmare.
Yeah,
Like, you
once
couldn't-
COVID hit, we all took a solid reset. We're like, let's come back to this because we all think the world's ending.
Yeah, the flights were messed up. Everywhere we're going to land, we don't know what we're going to run into
Yeah.
there or what people are
Right.
going to feel like. Like it
And
put a huge
honestly,
damper on it.
think that worked out for the better.
Oh,
for us.
absolutely,
It
yeah.
gave us
Oh, yeah,
basically
by
an
far.
entire
Extra year
to
to prepare.
plan and
Yeah,
everything.
for
I
sure.
mean, I had Google Earth with GPS tracks and
Mhm.
maps,
Yeah.
and I think I still have about 90% of all of the little pinpoint. Hey, this is cool. Hey, we can get gas
Yeah.
here. Hey, we can
Yeah.
camp here, kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of planning.
Mm-hmm.
Which if we would have done it in 2020 instead of
Oh, it
2021,
would've been-
we would have been so underprepared.
Buying the cars might have been easier,
I don't know about that.
at
It
least
was
cheaper maybe, but
But again, this is COVID market. People don't want to go outside. People don't want
oh
to deal
well,
with
this
other
is
people.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was part of it. Is we're like,
Yeah.
what are like is
I was thinking like before COVID in general.
yeah,
would have been that.
2019 the prices would have been way better on everything. Flights,
And-
cars, everything.
And with the places you guys went to, they probably wouldn't have been open.
Uh,
Yeah,
a lot of them
probably.
would have been super restrictive
Or
on what
restricted,
you
yeah.
know, like you must have have to have a mask everywhere you go. This and that.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Yeah. Which it already
were-
kind of was still.
it was
Yeah, it was like that weird transition point.
Yeah.
A
A lot of
2021 was still like everything's slowly being lifted.
yeah, a lot of places were better than I expected on it. Some places
Yes.
where you expected it was pretty much where it was. You know,
Mhm.
airports and stuff. Yeah, you have to, but
Yeah.
You're
I don't
right.
like. I don't think when you went to any of the stops on the way home, it really became a problem
No.
anywhere.
Not really, no.
Mm-mm.
Good.
Luckily, we're over that shit, and it was all fake anyway. Anyway,
And we're canceled.
so yeah, we flew out to Spokane, Washington. It's on the eastern half of the state. We
Mm-hmm.
drove up to the Canada border, buying tools and camping gear along the way, as well as
And
buying
cars.
3 cars. My '97 Subaru with a 5-speed, Legacy, and then Marcus and Michael's
1994 Subaru Legacy,
with an automatic wagon as well.
the dad wag.
yeah,
And then Brian's 2000.
it's either a 2000 or a 99 Hyundai Elantra wagon. In
Yeah, so
sniper
we all
gray.
had wagons,
Yeah.
which is sick.
Conveniently, yeah,
Yeah.
because we had conveniently we had so much stuff that having 3 wagons
Mhm.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Like I had just the cooler for all the food and drinks. I think you guys had, or Marcus had just the tent and all that stuff.
Yeah,
in
we
there.
had like all the bedding
And I had like
stuff.
You had most-
luggage and
like tools, yeah.
yeah.
It was really convenient. We had a ton of internal space, but
Yeah. So yeah, we ended up buying the cars, heading up to the northern half of the state, pretty much directly in the middle. It follows a mountain range basically through the entire state of Washington.
yeah,
We ended up doing 250 some miles on dirt through the mountain ranges and stuff through the Backcountry Discovery Route.
Mhm.
And it ended up, I mean, we had a lot of fun doing those. I'm not trying to dive into it. We've talked about it at length many times by this point, and there's a movie coming out you can watch.
Yeah.
But eventually, the big thing was Brian's car started to die very badly.
right.
And through 2 days of campground mechanicking,
MacGyvering.
MacGyvering was
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good word for it. We band-aided it back together and then decided to skip the rest of the dirt trail and start heading home, hitting Salt Lake City, the Bonneville Salt Flats, Yellowstone National Park, a hot spring resort in Nevada, as well as Waldrug, South Dakota.
Mhm.
I say Yellowstone already.
You said Yellowstone
Okay,
already.
did you say Rushmore?
Rushmore,
Mount Rushmore and,
and
Crazy,
Crazy
Horse.
And the
Badlands of South Dakota.
Titan 2
oh, missile silo.
Missile
Oh,
silo.
yes,
the
yes, yes.
Minuteman
Oh, yeah.
missile
yes,
silo.
Minuteman. Sorry,
Yeah.
not
Uh,
a Titan 2. Completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different era. Come on.
Yeah, so yeah, Waldrug and the missile silo were like within 45 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we camped the last day at the Badlands of South Dakota. And then made our way home. It was what was it? 3,800 miles, 2,800 miles?
3,800 and a half miles over
Yeah.
the span of 13 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mind you,
70
two-
I think
two of those days
70
were rest
hours
days.
moving in the car
Yeah.
over those 13
At
days.
least, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I was
all
trying
in
to
the
think of that.
It's all in the dock.
Yes,
So
exactly.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that's our Washington trip. So if you hear us refer to it or refer to, I still own my wagon. Michael still owns a wagon, but his is currently
For-
not running, like
For,
mine.
for now, yeah. The engine. Well, conveniently, you both have blown engines.
Yeah,
Subaru moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
which I'll get into that in a minute.
Right.
I did some engine searching today,
Yes.
but Brian's eventually got turned into a demo car, and then
Wow.
before before it made it to the demo, it met its demise and met the scrap yard.
Yeah.
Basically,
Basically, by the time it got all the way back to Illinois, it was so down on power. Nothing inside worked electrically after gutting and rebuilding the car in a parking or in a campground. So
Yeah.
it's like it's not worth anything. Put a cage in it, run it to the Derby. You know, I gave it to a kid that does it that we grew up with, and they put the starter on a toggle switch instead of a momentary switch. So they had
Horrible
flipped
idea.
it up to turn the starter, and forgot to flip it back down. That was temporary, but once you do that, it shorted out all the electronics and smoked the whole harness. Like,
The already botched harness that we
Okay.
dealt with out in Washington and then limped it back home. So
yeah,
The
so
thing,
all
the thing made it from south middle of Washington all the way home on trailer wire, zip ties, and duct tape.
and a
Yep.
dream
and a
dream.
fucking
And a
dream.
and no air conditioning.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It was like 95 degrees the whole week. It
Yeah.
You just stuck your foot out the window.
Oh,
You're fine.
it
You
was-
lost a lot of weight.
understood.
Good for you.
I think I
right.
lost 10 pounds on that trip. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
Sweat.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it was
it's
unbearable.
a mobile sauna.
Fuck.
We got to think. No insulation because we gutted the car. No air conditioning because they gutted the wiring. Not even gonna go into that right now.
Nope.
It's
So-
it's
I'm
in
not
the
bringing it
movie.
up
You gotta
again.
watch.
The exhaust was blowing right onto the radiator, so overheating the car while it's
Oh, yeah.
driving. It was
Many,
a nightmare.
many, many
it was
overheats.
at least 120 degrees in the car, if not hotter. It
Hey,
was
I will
wild.
say though, that car overheated at some of the most beautiful spots.
Yeah,
that
I'll
it
say
could
it's
have.
hard to be mad when you're taking a break on the side of a fucking mountain with just beauty all around you.
Yeah,
So,
it'd be as soon as we finish a big hill climb, I just see it peak right at the end, I'm like, and it's off.
like, and we take a break now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's gonna air.
So the trailer will
this
drop.
Friday.
The trailer will.
No, next.
Well, are
uh,
you talking podcast
I'm
time or
talking
real?
Yeah,
podcast
it's podcast
time.
time.
Oh.
Yes.
So,
Podcast
yeah.
time. It'll drop this
So
Friday.
podcast will be the 27th of June.
Yeah, on a Tuesday.
Yeah. So Wednesday the 28th, the trailer
That's
will
when
be
the
dropping,
trailer will drop.
and then the 30th Friday will be.
We'll be when the full thing drops.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. Glad we're all in sync on that.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. If we're gonna talk about sync, or actually, do you want to talk about your junkyard first?
Let's talk about the junkyard.
Yeah, I can do that pretty quick.
This
Okay,
kind
so-
of
It
a
ties
little
in.
homage to
Yeah, so-
our next trip.
Yeah. So our next trip, we're planning to. I kind of after we did the very northwestern part of the country, I'm like, how about we do northeast and then eventually southeast and maybe southwest and maybe Texas and kind of.
Kind of
And
brand
go
out.
for anybody who kind of doesn't know. So ridebdr.com, they make these trails and they put it online. I think they're up to 12 or 13 different
There's a lot of
sections
them,
now. There's a
yeah.
lot, but they're made for ADV bikes. Of course,
Mhm.
not all of us have our motorcycle license, and plus, I think doing what we did in Washington on bikes would be dangerous as hell. We'd kill ourselves. So it's just a little
don't-
bit easier to
Allegedly.
do. it
My
on.
riding level, I would be okay with it. But
Also depends on the bike. If you're running,
This is true.
Yeah.
if you're throwing a gold wing through some of those,
yeah, no, it'd be
God.
rough. But if you're
Okay.
set up on an actual
a
like
supermoto,
an
enduro,
enduro or a adventure
like
bike,
if we
yeah.
built ADV bikes here and
Yeah.
shipped them out, we could do it.
oh, it'd
but
be effortless. Yeah.
buying bikes there, it's no. Cars is perfect.
But yeah,
Um,
Maine
but
is
yeah.
in the cards. Is
Yeah,
the-
so we're going to Maine, is where we're starting our next trip, and I'm trying to basically get my Subaru back going beforehand. We decided on this next trip's going to be a 10-day trip. Well, I hate my job, so I want to quit and basically make sure my Subaru's ready to go, and I'm going to drive out there preemptively and take all of our gear instead of shipping it, save us a little bit of money there.
And a little bit of hassle because
yeah.
logistics on that is
It can be done.
bit
It's
of a
just a matter
pain.
of I just want to quit my job and I want any excuse to do it. And I know I'm not going to be able to get the time off of work to do this. And so I said, fuck it. I want to splurge on myself and really do this trip. And I'm going to go probably 4 or 5 days early and meet everybody out there when they fly in. And then we're going to have the other two, or we're going to buy 2 other cars when we're out there. And, but before I do that, I need to buy an engine, and I've been trying to find one here. I had a lead on a car that was supposedly ready and driving, but it's been just kind of a dead end lead. The guy's just kind of dragging his feet, which whatever, it's no big deal. But I found one finally, and I went to the junkyard today after work.
now which junkyard is this?
This would be Southwest Auto in Lockport, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
It's actually the home to O'Hare Towing, which used to be the one
Oh.
Discovery show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
one of their
yeah.
locations because it's only like two miles off I-80. So
Right.
Oh.
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. So I was like, oh, that's neat. I didn't even realize where I was showing up to until I saw their sign. I'm like, that's neat. Anyway, go back there with the one guy, and there's 2 on car-part.com. There was 2 cars with eligible engines to be swapped into mine, like they're compatible.
Yeah.
And one of them was a green 2nd gen Legacy, exactly like mine, but and I had an auto trans. The other one was a 4-door sedan, like dark blue. The green wagon had 268,000 miles. The sedan had 170. The only problem with the sedan was they did not know for sure if the engine ran. So we went and saw the green wagon first. I'm looking around it. I'm like, okay, cool. Look at the dash, 268,000 miles. I'm like, okay, fuck. Start it up. It's decent. It's not bad. There's zero exhaust on it. It's straight out of the block. I'm like, okay, like I'm listening to that noise, but I don't hear anything else besides it. Still runs fairly smooth. Kind of runs a little weak. No big deal.
Yeah, a little
I'm like,
bit of a
okay,
tune-up.
350 bucks. They pull it. That's like, it'll be okay.
That's money well spent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey man, can we go check out the other car just to make sure? And I'm like, he's like, oh yeah. He was kind of walking around the car, and I was kind of going to meet him. This is still around the green wagon, and y'all will never guess what I saw on the back of this fucking car.
A wall drug sticker.
No,
Congratulations.
shit.
Yes, it's a fucking wall drug sticker.
Good for me.
Which I have a
Wow.
matching one on the back of my fucking Subaru too. I'm like, this is insane. I thought that was the fucking coolest,
That's
funniest
awesome.
fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm like,
So
no
you know
shit.
you have to go get that engine.
No, because this is the one with 100,000 extra miles. I'm gonna buy the
Oh,
170,000 mile
okay.
one out of the sedan. But yeah, so after I saw this, I'm like, that's fucking cool. So had to take a picture of it. I took a picture of the VIN plate as well. This is the bad wagon with almost 300,000 miles. Went over to the sedan, had him. I'm like, hey, let's just throw a fucking battery in it, see if it starts. Literally starts up immediately, even quieter than the fucking
Wow.
than the wall drug car.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, I'll take this. The only problem with this one is the hood is off of it. The wall drug car had plates or a sticker that expired in 2019. The sedan was in way better shape, just all over, as well as a sticker that expired in 2020. So I'm like, honestly, fuck it. The only bad part is the fact that the hood has been off
Yeah.
the majority of that time, I imagine. So I'll just have to clean up the engine bay, make sure, go through it really good.
Yeah.
But for 100,000 less miles, it's worth it. They also come with a 60-day warranty, which I told them, I'm like, I'm not even going to want my money back. I'm just going to want you to pull the other engine and give me the other one as long as it's still there.
Just swap me.
Yeah, like it's just a matter of trying to get the car done before this trip. It's not a matter of money at this point.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have two of them on the same lot is golden. And I know for a fact they both run because I was there to test them. So
Right. That helps a lot versus just like, oh yeah, it ran when it came here. It's like, how
Yeah,
long has it been here?
exactly.
They're like, I don't know, like 4
Yeah,
years. You're like,
exactly. Yeah, there's little things. Like I said, there's little things you can do, like looking at the sticker on the license plate to see how long it's been there, or a rough idea. You know.
yeah, stuff you're not going to get by just looking at a picture online. Like stuff you look in person, you're like, oh, it's actually not
Exactly.
that bad.
So what's
Exactly.
what's your time frame on that?
I'm picking up the engine tomorrow. As long as they have my number. They're supposed to call me when it's out, and as long as I get off work at a decent time to run over there and
Sick.
pick it up, should be bringing it home tomorrow. So, I said I wanted the engine by the first week of July. Realistically, if I can get the engine in before I quit work, which is going to be like the second or third week of August, then we're good. If I don't have a car by then, like if the Subaru's not ready to go by like the second week of August, then I'm just going to say, fuck it. I'm going to continue to work until we leave, basically. And then the extra money I make in between the couple weeks that I was planning to have extra off, I'm just going to continue to work that, take that money, go out and buy a car with you guys and continue to do that. So
Well, I mean, swapping that engine doesn't seem like
it's
that
not hard at
crazy of
all.
a
When I took the
thing.
clutch out, or when I did the clutch on it, it's a day's worth
Yeah,
of work.
he's already pulled the engine
So
on that car.
yeah.
It's so simple.
you know, as long as we get it put in, and it's not like, oh fuck, there's a giant rod knock in it now.
Exactly.
We should be fine.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then I can go back and return it
Yeah.
and get the other one. Like, God forbid, two of them are both bad. Which, also the wall drug car, it didn't have any oil in the dipstick. I checked both the oil caps; they were both identical. Like, there's no, I couldn't tell any head gasket issues really. And so I said, "Fuck it, let's let her rip." I guess
So now are you getting just the engine or engine and trans?
just engine. No, because they're both automatic transes, so I'd only need the engine.
Well,
anyway.
yeah.
I will have to block off. Automatic trans cars come with an EGR system. The manual transes do not, so I don't know if I can just unbolt that all or what I got to do. So I kind of got to look into that.
Your ECU won't be looking for an EGR.
True,
So
but
as
like
long
there's
as you-
extra vacuum hoses, so
You
I
just
just got to
cap 'em
figure out
off.
how to loop them off and
Yeah,
everything.
loop them all around, cap them off. It'll be.
Or I
fine,
could
but
swap my intake over if it's
That's-
that big of it. It just depends.
That
really.
wouldn't be a bad, especially if it's been sitting with the hood open. You
Yeah.
just get to crack that off. Go,
Yep.
yep, everything here looked fine. I'll just put mine on.
That was kind of my plan too. I'm like I know mine's a knock. It's not anything different. So I'm like, great. I can swap literally my entire top end over besides heads, all the accessories and everything I can do, which I'm still hoping to leave my power steering and air conditioning hooked up because I was able to swap my clutch out by doing that too. So as long as I do the same thing I did to do the clutch job, I can leave everything kind of hooked up still. And it's a very simple install. Subarus are super easy to work on.
Especially those boxers, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's tons of room in the engine bay, except for like the very top of the heads up against the frame rail. That's the only tight part. Other than that, it's very easy to work on. So
Now, if you can't get it, I'm not doing anything after work Saturday.
Yeah,
We'll be
we're
gone.
gonna be
Do you-
we're gonna
say-
be gun con.
Do you have a truck?
Duh.
Yeah.
Do you have a truck to haul it in? Because
I have access to one.
that is also
This is true.
true.
This is
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
But-
no. So I should be picking it up tomorrow.
Okay.
No big deal.
If not, you could grab it like Monday or something.
Yeah,
too.
see, it's not that big a deal to get it because I'm still not going to be able to work on it. I still want to finish or just
Yeah.
kind of button up a couple other projects. I need to get the Jeep out of the garage.
Yeah.
Just
Clean
button
up
some
and get
other
ready
stuff.
for a swap over.
Yeah, because I still got parts and fucking tools scattered around from when I finished the Jeep. So
Yeah.
not going to
100%.
hurt to kind of button up all that shit before I start on something else.
Well, it's kind of just a better thing to do than
Yeah.
outside.
I'll say, yeah, I still got a week or so into June. I have all of July, all of August, and then realistically 2 weeks into September, or a week
week.
into September,
Yeah.
so I can get out there
Yeah.
earlier. So
Yeah.
I got time.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Hey,
no
at least you
problem.
finally got the damn engine.
Well,
so-
like I said, like I
That
was
is- that is the
I was
hardest
waiting on
part.
there was a running and driving car that a guy I work with has. He's basically a scrapper. He has a junkyard in his yard, and he has a running and driving Subaru. He said it looks identical to mine. Well, problem with Subarus is the wagons all kind of look similar. So I have a Legacy, which are way more rare than the Outbacks and whatnot. And I'm like, there's also like 3 different engines that come in them. So I'm like, I need to make sure that it's like, yeah, it might kind of look like it, and it might be, and it is a Subaru, but like auto trans, manual trans.
yeah.
I was wanting to hopefully have it be a disc brake car so I can swap out my rear drum brakes to disc because it'd be a huge upgrade. As well as make sure the engine is able to be swapped over. I didn't know if it'd be a 2.5 liter. I have a 2.2. There's also a 2 liter and a 3 liter.
Yeah.
Handful of shit.
Different variations to the
Yeah.
same.
The guy
base.
just told me, he's like, yeah, I have a Subaru for you. Then I'll give it to you cheap. I'm like, okay, cool. I need a little bit more than that though,
Yeah.
Chief.
Okay,
He's like,
let me look at the car. Where's it at?
I'm still probably will end up buying it just because it's fucking
spare
dirt
parts.
cheap. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
whole
parts
running
fair.
driving car for like probably $200 or $300. He might even give it to me at this point because he told me this like a couple weeks after I started last year. So this has been a year and
Jesus.
2 or 3 months that he's been like, yeah, I got a car for you. So, which I haven't been hounding him on. It hasn't been a real big deal. When I blew the engine in November, I'm like, yeah, now it's a little bit bigger deal. But then I bought my Fusion for a work car. I'm like, that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that I have a deadline that I really need it done by, I'm like, I cannot trust you. Like, it's worth the $350 I'm paying for this engine out of the junkyard is well worth it. So we'll just see how that
For
goes.
350, that's a steal.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
fuck it, and they pull it. So
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
that's
That's
the best
fucking
part.
nice.
yeah, which I was like when I called him and I'm like, oh, like is it a U pull or he's like, nope, we have insurance, we have to pull it. I'm like, that's
Even better.
Yeah,
And-
good.
and
good.
yeah,
My
he-
fucking money.
yeah, he told me the price before he said that, so I'm like, perfect. So I'm only gonna give you $350. I'm not giving you a pull charge either. So there you go.
You'll see.
Well, yeah, that's true. I suppose when it's there, like on the fucking forklift, I'll be like, yeah, you name a price, like
Yeah,
I'll
like-
just fucking pay it, man.
Like, oh yeah, it's 400 now. You're like, yeah, great, cool, take it, please.
Wow,
Yeah,
$50
whatever, man.
for
Yeah.
me not
Nah.
coming here with a shitload of
Yeah,
tools and
Exactly.
getting
Yeah,
pissed.
I gave him a deposit before I left for $100. So,
Yeah,
Not bad.
but yeah, so that'll be making progress here hopefully soon, and we'll be looking forward to the main trip.
Yeah.
So,
We got a little bit more planning and stuff to do.
yeah,
We'll
I
have
gotta-
more planning until the day we leave.
I know.
This is true.
It never ends,
I know.
and we'll
Because,
get there.
You know,
We'll
been-
get there, and all the plans won't work
I
anyway.
know.
I'll forget the pallet at home. I'll just
Oh,
drive out
Oh,
there without
oh,
anything.
fucking God.
You know, I've
Yeah.
only done on and off about a year and a half's worth of planning and looking into things and checking and
Well, if you forget something,
scrolling
I'm gonna fucking laugh.
scrolling through Google Earth at about half a mile zoomed in increments, checking everything. No
Well,
biggie.
It's just a matter of buying the stuff at this point.
Hey, I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
good time regardless
Well,
of if
it's-
you guys
Yes.
do.
The two hardest things is getting our gear kind of all figured out,
Mhm.
which now,
Yeah.
thanks to the Washington trip, we have
Yeah.
99.9% of it. I
Yeah,
really think the
we know
only
what we
thing
need. Yeah,
Mhm.
that we're going to end up buying is an actual off-road GPS, because the
Mhm.
one we had for Washington
Which-
took about an hour to boot up every morning. 'cause-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had mentioned to Brian. I think I'm just gonna have you guys, if you guys are okay with it, you guys each pay me $50, and I'll pay the rest of it. That way, like I'm planning to keep it when I'm done because I was
That's fine.
most likely I'm
Okay.
going to eventually own an adventure bike, and I'm probably gonna have to buy a GPS anyway. So I'm like, yeah, if you guys want to kind of call that 50, part of the budget of the trip, and then I pay for the other 450 or whatever it is.
Because I already got all my cash pulled out. So
Yeah. So
Okay.
just
sure.
figured I'd mention it. I mean,
Yeah.
I can buy it full anyway, and we can kind of figure out money later, or if we got to do whatever.
we
So,
can
Right.
go into it later.
yeah,
Because I want to, after this, I want to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's kind of our plan for
Yeah.
Maine. What else do we got? So hey, Maine is on the sea. It's a sea-bearing
Fuck.
state. Would you like to transition into
You're
the
not,
news?
You're not making that segue
I know
work.
it's
Oh
bad.
my
I could have
God.
been better, but I don't. Give a
So
shit.
Maine has water.
Maine has a lot of seafood. You know what seafood
Maine
comes
lobsters.
from? It comes from the sea. Speaking of the sea, I heard there was some
Holy
news about it.
Oh,
Go
there's-
ahead. Just stop. Let me stop.
There's so
it's-
much news about it.
It's too much news about it.
yeah.
But
So some rich
we'll
assholes.
just go over it very, very quickly. So
Are you sure? Because the stuff that everyone knows is not the whole story. There's a lot of stuff to this.
there is.
And
And
I've
then
been
there were developments like 4 hours
like
ago.
literally,
Yeah.
yeah, because we're
pronounced dead officially 4 hours ago.
yeah we're on Thursday.
Spoiler alert. Sorry, I forgot.
This is gonna come out next Tuesday. Everyone knows.
everybody's gonna be
The-
fucking over it.
The
Yeah.
info's probably going to change by then too. I'm sure.
This
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah,
This is
it's
true.
fake
Okay,
news.
fine. Fuck it.
Go for it.
Who's,
No, I'm good.
Who's running this? Am I
What the
running
hell?
this?
No.
Yeah, Brian, I guess.
Are we
you have
talking about
extra
it or are we
info.
not?
Yeah, we're
talking
definitely
about
talking
Yes.
about
Well,
it.
if you have extra info,
Oh, fuck, I got notes for days.
all right, then go for it.
I got
Because
all sorts
I
of
like
stuff.
half-assed did it. I tried to
Okay.
sit down and do it like I did Le Mans.
So
and
these
it
rich
just did not
assholes
work.
bought a little boat
That's
and they
not,
went underwater
we
with it.
did.
I mean,
No.
kind of, but not really. So
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
the company is OceanGate or OceanGate, one or the other. So what happened is this is a company that offers tours of the Titanic wreckage. Your ticket to go on there is $250,000, and you get into a pod the size of a minivan called a Titan. This is not a submarine; it is a submersible. There is a big difference. Submarines are made to basically live underwater. Submersibles have an air tank and they drop down and then just come back up. There's no like propulsion system really to keep it like. You're not going to spend a week down there. This is like limited time, drop, limited power, look at it, come back up. So this was on Sunday. They went out for their voyage.
Sunday morning, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
Hold on. Do you know how long you get to look at the Titanic?
So the whole trip, round trip, is about 12 hours.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours down, hour and a half to 2 hours up. So
Oh,
you're,
okay.
You're
Yeah,
down there
you've
for
got,
like 8
you have
hours.
a lot of time to look around. Okay.
I mean, it's a big ass boat, you know.
oh no, understandable.
But-
I didn't know if it'd be like, bro, you get like
20
two
minutes.
hours max.
For 250 grand, I better.
I've heard billionaires spend money stupider ways. So go ahead.
I mean,
This
hey,
is
I
true.
could find a lot stupider ways to spend $250K
Oh, easily. So
and live.
yeah, the Titanic crashed
yeah,
in
and live.
living. That's the oof.
Maybe.
The
I get
Titanic
to stay up here and live for free. Stupid rich bastards.
joke's on you. So the Titanic crashed in 1912 off the coast of Newfoundland by about 350 miles. It is settled at 12,500 feet underwater, which is very far. Normal submarines will not go that deep. That is an extreme amount of pressure once you get down that far. So I believe there was 4. Is it 4 or 5? There's 5 people on there.
Five people.
Yeah, the
Yes.
owner of Ocean's Gate
The
was on
CEO.
there,
Oh,
Yes.
and then there was a billionaire, Hamish, and his 19-year-old son.
Which is very unfortunate.
Yeah,
For the son.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then 2, I don't actually know the names of the other 2 or who they were.
So that guy was a Pakistani banker. He was like the guy with the kid. I forget his name.
No, Hamish was a British businessman.
Yeah.
I thought the Pakistani guy had the kid.
No, it was
Oh, whatever.
because he had
There's been a lot of.
he has a kid and also a step kid. We're gonna talk a lot about the step
That-
kid because his story's wild.
it's
But-
sick. I love him.
Yeah.
It's a typical fucking billionaire.
He's
Oh,
based.
it's I wouldn't go that far, Nick. You don't know the whole story yet.
Go
But
ahead.
either way, there was 5 people on it, and it went off Sunday, and after about I think an hour and
hour and
45 minutes, it lost communication. So they're like, okay, it might come back eventually, whatever, you know. And it never really gained communication back. And this is a submersible. It has a limited airtime for oxygen. I think the estimate was 96 hours was your total.
Correct.
Total with emergency.
Yes, that was all you had. If you're over 96 hours, you're probably out of air anyway. So
Yeah.
that was what the countdown in the news has been focusing on is like, oh, they
Well-
only have 10 hours left. It's like, if they're still alive.
And
That's kind of the thing,
technically
yeah.
speaking, that's based on 5 adults breathing at an average heart rate,
Yeah, not panicking.
not freaking the fuck out in a very small. And
Same with
this was this. Go ahead.
Okay, I was same with scuba tanks. Like,
Yes,
you really start
exactly.
to fuck yourself when you start to
Well,
freak out.
and it depends on what you're doing too. You know, like you go snorkeling and you come up and you're
Yeah, it's
so
assuming a regular paced breathing
Yes.
rate and stuff, not panic situation.
exactly. And I do want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, the body of this submersible was made out of carbon fiber,
It was.
and the cap was made out of titanium.
This is
that had
correct.
17 bolts that held it on from the outside.
Correct. There is no opening this thing from the inside.
Fuck
There is
that.
basically sitting for 5 people and a toilet, and that's it. And the toilet's very rudimentary since it's only a 12-hour excursion.
It's a bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bucket with
basically.
the seat.
So hold on. What would even if you were able to get the cap open
Mhm.
from the inside,
Allegedly, yeah.
what would you be able to do then?
So
Uh,
I will. Do you want to go into that now? So okay.
I just because I'm
Yeah.
thinking
No,
about it.
'cause
Yeah,
I have all the information on that.
Okay.
So, so the whole of the thing is 5-inch solid carbon fiber wrapped in fiberglass to make it white and reflective.
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
else. At depth, so say 12,000 feet,
Mhm.
the estimated psi of pressure on you is 5,800 psi.
Okay.
For reference, an average scuba tank maxes at 3,000 psi, and normal atmosphere is 14.7 psi.
Damn.
So, if in theory you could open something on there, you would die instantaneously.
Okay.
Not
That's
from-
exactly what I
you
thought.
would literally
from-
be crushed into
Yeah.
a fucking
So,
pancake.
the maximum pressure a human can support hasn't really been tested. Some say that's unethical to just compress people, but
Mythbusters did it with a pig in a diving suit.
well, yeah, but the
That was a
estimated
great episode, by
Oh,
the
it
way.
was. The estimated pressure is about 400 psi that you can survive for a sustained, if you go if you're diving and you go down, 400 is about your max. You can go up to about 1,000.
So there'll be some
if you're-
outliers, but
I think
Yeah.
the record is or no,
The free divers.
the
who
free
do
diver
that.
record's like 700 meters or something. But if you're hitting 400 psi, that's real bad because it's crushing your lungs from the outside in. All your blood vessels are boiling. Like it's bad. So
Yeah.
it's the same reason that in space, if you took your helmet off, you would explode.
Yeah,
Just the other way
exactly.
around. Your
Yeah.
internal pressure would blow out. It
Yeah.
would basically pull you in pieces.
Yep.
So if you were, let's say, for reference, 6,000 psi is a lot.
Yeah.
The Oklahoma City bombing, the shockwave peaked at 4,100 psi.
damn.
Now,
Jesus
if you don't know much about the Oklahoma City bombing,
I was gonna ask how much explosions were used.
the keyword is a lot.
So I
for
figured as much.
that killed
That's why
100,
it's still relevant.
that killed 168 people.
Damn.
Created a 30-foot wide, 8-foot deep crater and destroyed or damaged 324 buildings. So,
I'm guessing that includes windows and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
from
oh yeah,
Shockwave.
I'm sure any little scratch in the building they
Oh,
counted,
yeah.
but still.
Yeah.
So that was a mixture containing 4,800 pounds of ammonium nitrate and nitromethane.
Fuck, that's
Wow. Okay, that's
Yeah.
more than I thought.
Yeah, the blast equivalent is over 5,000 pounds of TNT and can be heard from over 55 miles away.
That's a lot of
Believable.
boom.
And this is more pressure than that.
Yeah, believable.
That's the
What was the pressure from this again?
this is
4,100.
4,100, and they were at about 5,800 where they were at.
So
Yeah. So
Almost 1.5
imagine
times the
that
pressure.
just
a little bit
besides
bigger.
I'll say yeah, just the pressure from the bomb plus 1.5%, you know.
Yeah, and 16 miles away from the Oklahoma City bombing, they record, or I don't actually, it's either 4 or 16. They have both numbers here, but a seismometer measured that blast at a 3.0 earthquake,
Sick.
literally miles away.
Yeah.
So the amount of pressure you're under when you're that far down, it will just disintegrate. you.
Incomprehensible.
Yeah, there's no reference for what that would do. It's an insane amount.
It's going to be a very bad time, and hopefully it's instantaneous and painless.
Oh, instant for sure. You're
Yeah.
your insides just disintegrate. There's no, the expansion of pressure just destroys you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the accident. We've
Okay.
confirmed that the capsule did in fact implode.
Yeah.
They found
'Cause
a
Pieces.
titanium center cap off of it.
Oh, they found the titanium cap off.
Yeah.
From one of the articles I saw, yeah.
Okay.
So
I
it,
did not hear that. I heard that they found the bottom landing craft section, and the ass end of her.
I say they found a couple pieces of it, but
Well,
it's enough they can
and-
tell that it's not whole.
You know, it also depends on where they were in the water column, and you know, I mean, like look at the
In theory, at an
debris
hour
field.
45, they'd be almost at the bottom.
yeah,
So there's so much. It just kept going down until it exploded.
yeah.
Or imploded, not exploded. But
Mhm.
so yeah,
Ploded.
that disintegrated. They're all dead. So unfortunate for them. Bad news. Don't do.
Eh.
Don't, like,
It kind of sounded like a fucking death trap to begin with.
so there have been so a CBS News guy reporter, I guess, he went on one of these a couple of years ago. They offered it to him, obviously.
I think it was
They
about 2 years ago. Something like that.
2019, I
Yeah,
think.
it wasn't.
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
4
like
years now,
5
but-
or 8 years ago. It was
But
relatively recent.
they basically tried to drop it in the water like 6 different times. They had to keep rescheduling it because like, oh, the conditions aren't perfect right now, and this isn't perfect right now, and that, and you know,
I think the ballast, not ballast.
one of the
it's
ballast or the anchor, not anchor, fucking.
They're the
counterweight. It's
plastic balloons that keep like big yachts from like bashing up against
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
They had those on top to keep it stable and ready to drop, and those kept coming off.
yeah, and these are
So they don't know how to tie a knot.
no.
It
These-
sounded like they didn't know how to build a fucking submersible.
Well,
true.
these
Yeah.
are technically experimental. They're not inspected by anybody, so it's just like
Yeah, this is true.
it's like, well, we built it.
It's like a
and it
paramotor.
works.
There's no fucking rules.
Yeah, and fiberglass is
Mostly no rules.
fiberglass is a fiber, so as you stress it time and time again, it probably micro cracks.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm assuming they've used this a couple of times, and it slowly wore the hole out and broke it.
I mean,
But
5 inches of carbon fiber is a lot, but
I'm like,
It doesn't
I
matter.
Yeah.
guess
Look
I'd
at
go
look at what
6.
aluminum does.
well, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, if you really think about it this way, if you kept stacking
Layer
the
after
same
layer.
layer in perfection over time, you know, it's gonna just be like groundwater. It's
This is
shoot right in
something
there.
you X-ray. Like when they do
Constantly.
steel steam pipes, they X-ray
Yeah.
that joint because if there's any little imperfection, it creates a pipe bomb.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This had the opposite effect. Pressure was on the outside, so it
Yeah.
pipe bombed in. You know. So yeah, R.I.P. This is where the real story kicks off.
Oh.
The part that I'm excited about.
And I would like to put a metaphorical tinfoil hat on after, but go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, no, this is all documented. What I'm going into now.
Oh.
So Hamish, he was one of the guys on there with his actual son. He also has a stepson.
Yeah.
The stepson's name is Brian Szaz. It's
Zaz.
Szaz. Like I don't know how you actually
Okay,
pronounce that.
Weird.
Yeah.
So Monday, once he realized his his stepfather's missing at sea, possibly dead, what do? You go to the Blink 182 concert,
Oh my fuck.
post it on your Facebook, and you give the quote, "It might be distasteful being here, but my family would want me to be at the Blink 182 show as it's my favorite band, and music helps me in difficult times."
How old is this kid?
Base.
He could have
He's
just
like 30 or something.
yeah.
Or no, I think he's 37.
Oh, my God.
He's a
Oh, I thought
grown
it
ass.
was- I thought it was 19.
My
No, he's a-
daddy drives a Ferrari.
He's a grown
Yeah, I'll
ass
say
man.
he is a billionaire's kid. Just zero remorse,
Hold on.
zero empathy.
I don't have the name
At
here
all.
anymore. I have the name somewhere or the
Somebody
age
needs to
somewhere.
When you
Smack
let
the shit
them
out
when
that
you let
boy.
the maid raise your kids, this is what
yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
They don't
Well-
care when you die. They're gonna be at the concert.
He wasn't a billionaire's kid until very recently.
Well, fuck
'Cause
'em.
his real dad is an FBI agent. Conveniently enough. If you want to connect dots there, that's on you guys. I'm not throwing that in there, but you know. So
The
okay.
Dad got revenge.
Yeah. So he's, so he's a little interesting guy. He's like, yeah, I'll go to Blink instead of morning, whatever.
He
you
could have
know.
just also not posted that.
right.
and nothing would have
Right.
happened.
Himself.
The
yeah.
more I tell
The
you,
family might have been pissed off about it, but that'd been
oh,
it.
they were because shortly after his mother told him to delete that.
Well,
It's in kind of-
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Yeah.
All of his stuff is scrubbed now because people have like
Oh, of
figured out
course.
this guy.
yeah. The internet, it went after him.
And like that's the most sane thing this guy has ever done.
Oh,
That's-
there's more?
Oh, there is so much.
All right.
They
come
need to
on.
put a dollop out on this guy.
Holy,
That would be great.
they might at some point. I'm not. So after that, he still remained active on social media because he's, a 37-year-old Zoomer. Why not? He later quote tweeted an OnlyFans model who had a selfie with the caption, "Can I sit on you?" And he quote tweeted it.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Like that's
He's down bad. Maybe do that on your private
On your-
Twitter.
and maybe
Oh,
not
my-
while your dad's or your stepdad's lost at
Oh,
sea.
I thought this was like
No.
No.
No, this is during this event.
So what you're saying, he's coked out of his mind at the Blink-182 show, and he's scrolling through Twitter between sets, and he's like,
Titties.
do you want to?
"Yes,
Yeah.
please."
Do you want to picture this guy? Because
Yes, please.
he's not that guy.
Oh god, yeah, he seems like a redditor.
He's
Let me see.
In
that.
the words of Blink-182, he was feeling
He
good.
looks like he's
And he
like
was-
23.
he was at the
dude,
show
grow
looking
a
for his dad.
fucking
Like, where are
beard."
you?
I was trying to think of some sort of lyric to work. I think that's the winner.
You could do that for.
By the way,
hours.
the whole
fuck.
memeage
I meant, or oh yeah.
on
that was the picture he
this
posted at the Blink.
entire
Yeah.
event has been
Insane.
nothing but fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Been an absolute banger. So a lot of people saw the OnlyFans tweet and they're like, "Man, that's kind of like he's a little down bad, but all right."
Yeah,
Later
dude's
that day,
whack.
that week on Tuesday, he posts, "Ladies, I'm single,"
because he's getting fucking
because he's getting
popular.
blown up right now. Yeah. So everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Man, he's getting kind of weird." So popular, in fact, that Cardi B jumped in on this.
Oh my god!
Out of all the people, you're like, hey, like Cardi
Yeah.
B's in on
well,
this.
she hasn't been relevant in a couple months, so go figure.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God
Didn't
forbid.
she like roofie a dude? and steal
Oh,
his
yeah.
all the
wallet?
time. When she was a stripper, she stole.
Yes,
a
but
yeah,
she
ton of
should
shit.
not have a platform for doing it. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
God bless.
Hoes
yeah.
mad.
So yeah, she was like, "You should be at home more," and this like on Instagram
Oh,
story.
Cardi
of
B
like,
said that?
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh yeah,
fucking
she has a lot of
Christ.
moral high ground to stand on.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
throw your
after
stone.
drugging people. Yeah.
God.
So now is when it starts to go bad. This is stuff that has happened previously, explaining who this guy is.
Mhm.
In 2021, he was detained after he was charged with online stalking after targeting DJs Alice in Wonderland and another DJ named Elanium. These are like
I know both of those.
these are
Yes.
EDM DJs.
Yes.
He's made several threats to both of them, including fun little quotes like,
Recently or like,
"This was in 2021. This is just
God.
this
Okay.
kid's history."
okay.
He made fun quotes to Elanium like, "Those who disrespect me, the real joke is on at your trilogy," which is one of his concert names.
Yes.
Followed up immediately by, "When the massacre happens, I'm taking note of who viewed this tweet and who is in jeopardy." That's kind
This
of
dude
ominous.
needs a
Oh
fucking reality
my.
check.
Boy, if I worked for the ATF, I would be giving this man a gun.
Give,
Allegedly.
give him a Daniel defense. God bless.
Yeah, God bless. Let the next
Jesus
tragedy
Christ.
happen.
In case of the government listening, I don't know these three people. I don't know why I'm here. How I got
None
here.
of this can be
God
used in a
bless.
court of law against us.
Allegedly.
And you know that one. That's you're kind of insinuating
Yeah.
a mass shooting.
Hang on. What's that
Yeah.
picture?
I'm gonna run through this now. This is the next
Oh,
one.
okay.
Holy fuck.
So he posts, "I will fucking find Alice in Wonderland and hunt her ass down." Now
This dude
Oh.
needs a fucking
That's
reality
the picture. I haven't
check.
seen it yet.
it's that I'm almost there.
Okay, okay.
That's a little bit more than insinuating. The next one is AW, short for Alice in Wonderland, "will fucking pay. I will show up to her LA apartment." Like, bruh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wood.
Yeah,
Would
absolutely.
smash.
Yeah, she's goated. So his
Let me
next one
see.
is "I got a
You probably
tattoo."
heard songs of her, Marcus.
Probably.
I have.
Yeah. His next one is "I got a tattoo of this bitch and she fucking disses me." So there's the tattoo. It's one of like her logos.
Uh huh.
You
Yeah.
know,
What a album art.
Pretty standard.
Oh yeah, her logo. Yep.
Like it's a sick logo, to be fair.
Sick.
But like, bro, like these
Maybe
are-
don't threaten her and you won't get fucking.
Man, what it must be like to live inside of that dude's head and or be, you know, a billionaire
Oh, don't-
stepchild.
don't
Yeah, I was
forget his-
like, that's what Coke does.
Well, it screams mental illness. too.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's diagnosed with Asperger's, to be fair.
Okay, well,
But his last one was, "The last clown that bullied me online, I fucked up so bad I was in prison for years. I'm not about talking." Posting a picture of his prison ID card with the tweet.
okay, that is
what
a
a fucking dumbass.
kudos on the prison
Like-
pick. I dig that.
At least you're being honest with him. You're like, "Yeah, I'm that guy." It's like you're definitely not that guy.
But you're not that guy.
Yeah, you're definitely not that
You're
guy,
not that guy,
pal.
pal.
I
So
take back my base comments.
yeah, he is absolutely not based.
That dude's
He's
straight up fucking wild.
he is insane, and now that he's possibly in the will of a billionaire, can
I
you
cannot
imagine how
wait.
It's only
crazy?
gonna get worse.
I cannot wait for him to run for president.
Someone's like, "This dude needs a live
Guys,
stream
he's
on
gonna
him."
be Elon Musk's supervillain.
Oh,
Origin story. Here we come.
This is the origin story. Is the problem?
my late stepfather.
This is.
He died in a submarine accident. After
Here's
that,
the story
I
of
went
my
to-
dad
I
drowning
went
in the ocean trying to look at the Titanic.
And then he went to the Blink concert. Like, "Where are you?"
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So it's like, man, this guy's kind of goofed up, huh?
What a fucking dumbass.
Yeah. And this isn't the first offense he's had. Of stalking it is, but back in 2007, he acquired 2 counts of armed robbery
Sick.
after he and another suspect robbed 2 convenience stores for several $100s and 14 cartons of cigs.
Boy, where's my ciggies and bees?
They were caught after they got hit by a train in their Ford Explorer. Like,
They're
Dude's
literally,
fucking
this could
crazy.
be a dollop. Oh my god.
this dude is living GTA 5.
Oh my
He's
god.
just like, fuck it, we ball.
Oh. Okay, is his Twitter still up? Can I
No,
follow
everything's
him?
No.
deleted now.
Fuck.
Yeah, he did.
Damn it.
He had about 4,000 followers on it before it got deleted, or before he took
Oh,
it down. His
God
Twitter
damn.
handle is audio guy 182 because he loves Blink
Oh,
182
man.
so much.
Jesus fucking.
It's like, dude, like this guy's more interesting than the fucking submarine explosion. Like,
Yeah.
Shit.
like, are you?
That's
kidding
usually how
me?
dollops go too. Is like you know the event that they're talking about, but this dude who just casually like
Who's slightly
Wormed
involved
his
with
way
it.
into.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the paths intersected, and this dude, I cannot wait to see what happens after this.
He is
'cause
going to
if
die.
he ever becomes relevant again, absolutely, this is dollop territory.
Oh, he absolutely will. Once you have $1 billion. To your
Exactly.
name,
That's what I'm saying. I cannot wait.
you've
We are
already-
at the meeting point.
We are
now
watching-
the paths are gonna split, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here.
We are
20
watching-
bucks. He'll be dead in 3 months.
No,
Because of the money?
This guy.
Oh yeah.
No,
No.
God, no.
no. I think he's gonna
Nah.
have the stupid luck of just living till he's fucking 100 and just terrorizing the entire
He's
population.
just gonna go
of
to
Earth.
every
great.
Blink concert from now until ever.
Dude. Oh,
He'll hire him out
I-
privately.
he's
I
gonna
like-
he's gonna get a Halloween costume of a submarine, just walk around.
Submersible. But
Oh, you know.
I like to imagine that his stepdad invited him on this, and he's like, "Well, I can't because Blink's gonna be involved."
Okay,
Now-
fine. I'll take my real son. I guess.
Oh,
Now
man.
he's looking back at it like, "Damn, I fucking won."
Yeah. And it gets your money.
Yeah.
So,
As
can
more
I-
info comes out, I can see that being a possibility.
I wouldn't be shocked. It's like, well, I just want to go to Blink anyway.
yeah.
So can I put my metaphorical tinfoil hat on? for a moment?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Let him
So,
cook.
I thought you had it on.
man, let me fucking tell you some of the conspiracy theories from this.
I haven't heard any of the conspiracy.
So
conspiracy
here
theories
was
yet.
my kind of one that kind of somewhat made sense.
You have the floor.
Obama.
Obama.
Dick Cheney made money off the Iraq War.
Get by and
Yeah,
blessed.
go ahead. A lot of people
I
did.
just missed the way he said China. Continue.
They were never on that boat. They never got in that submersible.
Oh,
hold on,
Jesus
hold on,
Christ.
hold on,
All right,
hold
let,
on.
Let him cook.
And they faked, they're never going to find their bodies.
Maybe they faked the Titanic too.
No.
And with the Epstein.
Y'all heard about this thing called
No.
the moon landing? Just
No.
wait. I got a good one.
Well, now hold on.
I'm
So
just
Finish this one first.
No,
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 no.
the moon.
there's a difference between the fucking moon landing never fucking happened and
Wait, you guys believe in the moon? What
yes.
the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh, don't start with that shit. And
And a billionaire wanting to disappear.
yes. So first of all, and I haven't looked into it too much because I haven't had a lot of time to do that today.
But
But you do realize that the CEO of OceanGate, I
OceanGate,
believe
yeah.
it is,
Mm-hmm.
correct.
had like 3 lawsuits of fraud for this company alone.
This company's sketchy as hell.
Yes. So, let's get 5 of my buddies one last time, or 4 of my buddies one last time and fake our fucking deaths and disappear into nothingness.
Yeah, but the fraud cases are against the company. You just bankrupt a company.
Well, true. I don't
Instead
know.
of
And
not
again,
being
I
alive.
haven't looked at it. And
Right.
my whole thought process is either A, they're going to find them and they're going to be dead.
Well, they're gonna find them all right.
As in, like, they actually pulled the submersible out of the water, opened it up, and they're all fucking
Well,
dead.
considering
They're on the ceiling.
the top caps already came off, they were
Oh,
disintegrated.
well, this
They're
was
mush.
this
Yeah.
was probably about
Yeah.
Tuesday-ish.
They have
I
Inside
started
an orca's
seeing-
belly.
Yeah, they have been eaten by an
Yeah.
orca by now. They're
So
gone.
I don't know.
Well,
Something
if they're paced,
seemed
then they won't really. I mean, yeah, they might
That'd
get
be
like.
orca or like
It depends
whales.
how fast they get the fucking thing out.
They have been
couple of
reduced
days.
to atoms, Thanos style.
Yeah,
They were
Okay,
just
fair.
gone.
they're
They're
just
gone.
pieces.
and
of
besides,
them.
like whales love krill, and that's just kind of mushy fucking bugs.
Well, they're not going to eat the whole capsule to get like.
You do not know how big a whale is.
My
whales are
brother
fucking
was
huge.
right.
This thing
Fair.
is that
But-
pod would fit
But they're
in
not
this
gonna.
room.
They're not gonna purposely eat the fucking. Imagine shitting out a submarine. I don't care how big you are.
Bro, imagine
Ain't no
being
fucking way.
imagine being a whale. You're-
27 feet, bro. You're dead.
Okay,
wrong.
all right.
This is what the
But
laptop.
that's an orca, not a
back
giant blue. But
back
yeah.
to the conspiracy
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So that
Ain't
was
no
one of
way.
the things that I saw, and I was like, okay,
At day 1 or
that-
2, you're like, okay,
that,
sure.
that could be somewhat plausible. We'll see where this gets.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing I saw is, so, along the whole main, the United States Gulf
Coastline.
and the
Mhm.
coastline
Yes.
and
Yeah.
everything, there's certain sharks that are tagged for GPS locations. So that they
Population
can-
management.
Yeah.
Population management. They can
Yeah.
see their migration patterns and everything.
Correct.
There have been 2 sharks that left Maine and headed straight for where the Titanic is.
Dun, 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 dun,
Okay,
dun, dun.
and-
Not like swum around or anything,
Swum.
like
I love
literally.
swum.
So yeah, so where?
Straight shot. So that's a little funky. I
Yeah,
don't know.
is there anything more?
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, the
I didn't
whales
look into it.
swim
I didn't
more
have time.
than-
God forbid an animal with a conscious brain just kind of does something.
Nah.
I wouldn't say
The
conscious.
sharks are government
pretty
drones.
stupid.
I don't
Yeah.
want to hear it.
There's a pack of seagulls following them too.
Pack of
More
Newports?
drones.
Let's fucking go.
They got air drones
So,
and water
seagulls
drones.
I don't know. I was very interested to see where this all came about.
Understandable,
But,
but yeah, no,
I mean,
I think
they're-
they disintegrated into
Oh,
paste.
probably.
Well, considering one of the Hamish has already gone on Blue Origin to space and went down into the
Oh.
Marianas Trench.
yeah.
He seems like kind of that type of guy.
He's like, wow, I have a fuck ton of money and
I mean-
might as well.
He has gone deeper underwater than this trip was. I mean, this is nothing for him.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
He's nothing now.
Well, he is literally nothing.
Mush.
He is nothing but a
Yeah.
will indeed.
Shark bait. Ooh ha ha.
Yeah.
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 So
God bless.
okay, metaphorical
So, yeah.
tinfoil hat off.
So that's the story of that
There was
kid
some
for right now.
Interesting things that I've
He's been
seen.
arrested for stalking fucking internet
Yeah,
or
I
EDM
cannot.
DJs.
We need to do a follow up in like 6 months of that guy.
Oh,
Oh,
he,
for sure.
Yeah.
He should be in prison.
This
I
motherfucker
want.
will
I want the
search us
mental.
again.
I want the vocal note of this.
Oh yeah, no, I will.
Oh yeah.
I will recall this if something else happens. I'm
Sick.
sure, but
Yes.
yeah, that's
Interesting.
that's the story of the Titanic exploration Titan sub, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
They went down, it exploded in like an hour and a half, and it took them a week to find them.
Okay, so wait, what is
Well, to
up
confirm
with
that
what is
they
up
were
with
dead.
the Logitech controller? I heard a lot about.
So,
Yes, I understand it was piloted by it, or it was
well,
the
that,
main.
that,
Yes.
yeah, that's really
about
about it.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was a like connector controller connection issue.
Nope.
Was what started this because
No.
I was ignorant until about a minute ago. So I mean I knew that they went down. I knew something happened, and then I saw the
To be-
confirmed dead a
that's
couple
really
hours
it.
ago.
To be
That's
fair,
pretty much it.
the U.S. government uses Xbox controllers all the time.
Yeah, not off. Not,
Logitech is a brand. Don't
Yes.
call it off-brand.
okay, yes, but it's not their main thing they do.
Well, my
Microsoft builds Xboxes, and Xboxes come with controllers. Like that is a direct line.
Logitech builds computer stuff,
Yeah,
and that's all they build is stuff.
but they build computer stuff for computers. They don't build
Motherfucker, I bet there's a
computer
that runs
pads
that.
for that.
How do-
Absolutely not.
how do it work? Do
n-
it just-
Not only does the U.S. government and a lot
Government.
of other
Oh, I'm
high-tech,
not saying they
expensive
don't.
stuff. Did you know that the Air Force actually bought like a shitload of PS3s back
Yeah,
in
the
the day and
supercomputer.
used it as a fucking supercomputer because
be-
it was cheaper and it ran like twice as fast?
I think
Well, because
PS3s
back-
on Linux.
Because
Yes.
back then the PS3s were more powerful than a gaming computer back then. 'Cause
Yeah.
of that cell processor.
Especially dollar per part. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Just real
sure.
quick, it was called the Condor cluster, and it was
Yes.
capable of performing 500 trillion
Yes.
petaflops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is an insane number.
That's fucking nuts.
Now that you mentioned about that supercomputer, I think it was a few weeks ago. I recommended someone bought one of those PS3s
no shit.
from that
Yeah.
project.
from that.
I'd put it
project.
in a fucking case.
That's so sick.
It was like on like firmware from 09 and everything. Like,
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he didn't connect it to the internet just because.
Oh, I
It was
wouldn't.
probably gonna get bricked from Sony.
Oh, yeah.
but
yeah.
yeah. It was.
Actually, honestly, I'd probably put it in a Faraday cage and do some data scraping.
He only booted it up once, I think, and then he unplugged it. But it was.
Well,
was
it doesn't
cool.
have Wi-Fi, so as long as you don't plug in an Ethernet cord, it
Yeah.
won't know.
Yeah.
You gotta remember
Still.
this is PS. Well, PS3
No,
might have
PS3
Wi-Fi.
would.
PS3,
I'm thinking
PS3 did, but
I was
like
thinking
you-
PS2.
Yeah, PS3
Two,
did,
and
but
then
you have to
the
connect
early
that.
360s that had a little dongle on the
Oh yeah,
back.
that's how mine was. Had the,
Yeah.
the dongle.
Dongles.
Never worked.
fucking
No.
dongle.
Rip.
But
Sick.
I mean, if we're talking about computers, we can get into the Intel name changes.
Yeah.
that's where I was
Are
leading.
you guys familiar with this?
No.
Well,
Yeah.
I know Nick is, but
I'm not.
do you want to run through this, Nick? Do you have notes for this?
I just kind of got like
I've-
some talking points a little bit, but I do have an.
If not, yeah, I've got notes I can run through.
Courtesy of GamesRadar.com.
Understandable.
Give
Give
proof of
credit.
because I'm kind of gonna be running
Yeah, if not, I've got notes I can
We can
run
go
through.
this
I didn't know if you had
So-
anything prepped.
This will be the first Intel Core branding change in 15 years. So,
They're going woke, these bastards.
No, they're going dummy.
yeah, they're going dummy.
How
So
dummy though.
Intel has announced a big change to its CPU branding, the first naming change in 15 years. This has been a speculated move for Intel for a while now, with many arguing AMD's naming conventions make things clearer, which I do agree. Yes.
AMD
Yeah.
names are goaded. Ryzen
Yep.
9 gang. except
Yes,
not
like
9.
AMD is straight to the point, and Intel, it's like Ibanez part numbers.
The fact that they reference AMD numbers as Ryzen this
Yes.
instead of like Intel, that they're not using the brand name, they're using the model part name, like
Yes.
the Ryzen
Mhm.
brand or
Yes.
Epic for their server
Yes.
stuff. Like
Yes.
their branding is on point for that. Their GPUs aren't on point. They use the same numbers now. It's
Yeah.
a mess. I don't know, but their CPU naming is elite.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Intel's like, damn, I want a piece of that pie. Like, what do we got? Like,
So,
it's-
yeah. Right.
yeah. Do you want to go through it or do you want me to go through?
Oh,
it? It's all this.
I
If
can
you're
go
going,
through
go-
it. Sure.
Yeah.
So the most big change from now on is that Intel's going to be abandoning the I before its processing number. So like before it was known as Intel Core i5
Mhm.
i7-99.
3570K. Yeah.
Yeah, their
So
main.
what are they going to now?
Oh, it's
Or has
way-
it been released?
It's been released and it's way worse.
Yes.
So like an example that is the original was a Intel 14th Gen i9 4900K
Okay.
or 14900K.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
simple. That's
Yep.
the OG
Yep.
name. The new one for the same processor in theory is the Intel Core Ultra 9 processor.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
14900K.
Go fuck yourself. At the minute you said Ultra, go fuck
That's
yourself.
well, they now have a Core and a Core Ultra line.
Okay,
Yes.
so what's the difference?
Well, the Ultra is going to be the K amount, like the
Oh,
higher.
okay.
The higher. It's like how Ryzen uses X's
Yeah.
to bump up their spec. It's going to be the same
Well, it's
thing.
just
Yes.
it's silicon lottery shit.
They're trying to get
Yes.
away from the naming convention of using like i3 means it's cheap, i5 means it's okay. They're trying to kind of back that off a little bit and hide it, which is dumb because that's
Yeah.
how you identify their product. Is
Yeah.
what the
It's what tier
identifier
you're
is.
at.
And i9 is such a cool like little suffix for that. Like oh, it's an i7 8700K. It's like that sounds cool. Not a Core Ultra Processor 9. Like
Yeah, it
What a
sounds
deal.
like MSI motherboard naming.
oh my
Oh, I have the
God.
Carbon
That-
Pro MSI IT
Tomahawk-
Wi-Fi
Tomahawk.
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RGB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RGB Wi-Fi 2. It's like what?
Boom.
Like they just make up nonsense for that.
Yes.
Jesus.
Again,
fucking
Yeah.
like
Christ.
Ibanez.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. All the Wi-Fi.
You know
router
what, Nick?
passwords.
Let's for our little to no viewers, but for us in general, what's the naming for an Ibanez?
Which one?
Like just spit a random one out.
Which one?
Let's see, like IGR 4257 or something.
That's
like,
about close to my red one.
Yeah,
It's
they're-
like GIO06.
it is a random number
Yeah,
generator.
honestly.
It is like 3 letters and like 4 numbers.
Yes.
They're ridiculous. It makes no sense. Like there's not really even a scheme to it either, as far as
No.
I can tell.
Like it's the executives looking at the bottom of their Wi-Fi router at home and just be like, "Oh, this would make a sick product name."
Yeah.
Like that's what my 7 string is.
Yeah.
It's the Ibanez RG7421.
Yeah, you're like,
what the fuck does that mean?
yeah.
Besides the 7 string, but what does 421 mean?
It was
It's not your
402nd one made.
421st guitar ever made.
Nope.
Paint code,
Nope.
stain on the neck.
Nah, that's just a chord progression they give you.
Like, no,
Have you played 4127?
well, maybe. Yeah, they're like, it'll
might-
sound
like
thick on
Brad-
this one.
It might go kind of hard actually. But
Yeah,
either way,
I'm gonna
but
try that.
yeah, they just make up names for theirs. Their
Yes.
names
yeah.
now. Intel has the worst naming convention.
Yes, no,
Hell,
this
or-
tops the cake.
like their GPU namings are good. A770, I love that. Super simple.
Yeah.
Like this, what the fuck? Like no, i9 is such a great identifier.
It's I will almost put it on par. It's almost as bad, if not worse, than USB generation naming.
Oh no, that's. See, the problem with USB names is
They changed the
They changed
changed
the
the standard constantly.
The standard
That's
they
the
had-
problem.
Yeah.
because right now it's like a USB-C 20 gig is actually like USB-C Gen 3 2 by or
Yes.
3.2 by 2 by 2 or some weird
Yeah.
like identifier.
Goofy, yeah.
But most people just go by like, oh, it's USB-C 20 gig.
Yeah.
And that's way easier to recognize. I don't know why they don't use that. Because it's the same connector for Thunderbolt that it is for USB-C. So they had
Yeah.
to have a
USB-C 20G.
That's what it should be. Well, GB or G. I guess
Yeah.
either one.
Yeah.
But
G.
yeah.
20 gig.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it should be.
But yeah,
But
that's
if
stupid
they-
as fuck.
If they call that out, then ones that don't have that high of a quality one will look worse. It's a
Who cares? Then
Everybody.
that pulls bad connectors and bad manufacturers out of the pool. It's the same
No.
thing they're trying to
Cringe.
do with motorcycle helmets. Andy, I'm sure you've seen this. A
hasn't.
European company wanted to start doing so, like, instead of having like DOT or what's the other Snell ratings,
Yeah.
it's all forget the basis that they went on, but it was
I know
like,
they're
this
changing
is
it.
a Gen 1 level 3 helmet. This is a Gen 2 level 1 helmet. This is a Gen 3 level 2 helmet.
It's
so
setting
it
up
breaks up like DOT would be like a Gen 1 level 1. It's the shittiest fucking helmets you can get.
And the
uh,
shittiest that passes.
yes.
Because what they're going to try to do is every gen, they'll move the standard up a little bit.
Yeah.
Where with just saying it's DOT approved doesn't give a standard to follow.
Well, it does for us here in the U.S., but we all know DOT was shit. Oh, hello, Blue.
But trying to give
Was
an,
it the-
an international
The
rating.
Yes.
real problem with the helmets would be is the fact they're only good for like 2 or 3 years. Sorry, if you guys hear my dog, that's her whining. She
She's
wants
over
attention.
here.
She's probably going to be here in every podcast from now on,
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much, yeah.
just because I feel bad for leaving her at home once I get home.
Yeah. But yeah, like I get why they're doing that one specifically. It's like they're trying to step it so they can keep like, hey, safety has to keep moving. You know, it's every 3 years for your cert or whatever on it, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's 3 or 5, one or the other. But
Yeah,
not owning a motorcycle, I don't know helmet stuff that
it's
much.
not.
I
ver-
just
I know it's not very long. It's a handful of years
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah.
and we're not in a
yes,
helmet state anyway, so it's like
True.
the people that know are like Marcus, where they ride a sport bike.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna go quick.
Well, I also don't like riding without a helmet because I've come to find out that it sets my fucking
He's
tinnitus
come.
off constantly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
the wind.
I
Maybe that's why I'm deaf.
well, and I also I have to wear glasses, so
Oh, yeah.
like
yeah,
you
wind
know,
going around
you
it
get
really,
that
Yeah.
vortex,
Mhm.
and it just
it like dries your
dries
face
the
out so
fuck out
bad.
of your eyes.
First time I ever rode an actual crotch rocket was Dom's. Well, my buddy Dom's. It was a 600.
Not outing anybody.
Try not
Yeah.
to. It was either Dom or Ryan's. It was regardless of who it was. They both had 600cc sport bikes, and
Yeah.
I was in shorts and a t-shirt with my glasses on. Oh, full squid. And I went. So a buddy drove as I was bitching, and I'm like, I need to ride that, and he's like, all right, fine. I was finally on it, and he was kind of like telling me what to do. Our other buddy Matt drove by in his big black 6-liter Power Stroke,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I just got the keys to a fucking rocket. I'm gonna go catch this
Yeah, to a
motherfucker.
sport bike.
So I
Going.
drove down this long driveway, went up the fucking hill, and he took a right on to the like long 2-lane highway. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll catch him. I took the right turn and I caught him, and I'm like, oh, I'm only doing like 100-ish. I'll keep going and see what happens. By the time I hit 135, I couldn't see anymore because there was so much water coming out of my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, it's about time to stop. As I'm in no helmet, t-shirt, shorts, shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unprepared.
Not
It's
even
wild.
sunglasses.
I like
I
my
was
helmet.
I couldn't fucking see anything because there was so much like wind burn on my eyes. They just kept
Especially when you're
watering.
not used to it.
Yeah.
Like once
Yeah.
you do it, you kind of get like a, you
Yeah,
know
with
how to
my
position
Harley,
yourself.
With my Harley, I got used to it because I only ever like there were bigger sunglasses than my glasses were. But
Mhm.
with when I was on the rocket, I was fucking the first year out of high school probably,
Yeah.
and I was just like, yeah, fuck it, let her rip. And I'm like, oh, what a mistake! I can't see anything.
You're like, oh, I get
But-
it now.
But I did catch that truck in like record time. So
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
it was pretty
whole
fun.
different layout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Very
like my
nice.
helmet.
Yeah.
My little.
I've grown to like
Stena.
them more. Like when I was on my DRZ 400 Supermoto, it was I got used to it. Like it's not bad,
Mhm.
especially when I'm purposely going out and fucking around doing wheelies and hooning and shit.
Well,
It's not
plus
bad.
you get a nice helmet that fits you well, good sound deadening, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, now
Fix it
with
up.
Senna's and everybody else has a Senna, and
or a
there's
Cardo or
whatever
whatever the fuck else is
siphon
out. Yeah.
speakers. Like there's a ton of stuff you can do now, which
yeah, having
really-
a helmet actually puts you in the loop instead of
Yeah.
out of the loop. Like
Mhm.
you can hear everyone now with the helmet on versus
I-
before you'd be the guy that can't hear everyone.
yeah, I will say on a bagger with a stereo, it's like you really don't need a fucking helmet. Like I understand helmet law states you need
Yeah,
it, but like
safety, but yeah.
around here, like if I'm not drinking and I'm cruising on the bike wherever the fuck I'm going, like it's so nice to just be open out in the nice open air, have your music going, have this huge fucking windscreen in front of you, the fucking whatchamacallit? Fairing. Yeah, the huge fairing, kicking 90% of the wind out of the way. Like, yeah, that's a great way to ride is helmetless on that thing.
exposed.
But every other bike with no windshield and everything else, or like if you're purpose tuning like on a supermoto or a sport bike that you're going nuts on, like it's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, basically I have to get down to where my tank is about here.
to get the wind to
full
blow
stretched
over you.
out to get it to hit about right here in my helmet to throw it back.
Or you're not expecting, you kind of lean up and catches you with the wind,
Well,
tries
so
to knock you off the
kind of
bike.
the thing that I do is allegedly when you get hauling ass like on the highway or
at
anything
71 miles an hour.
at 72.5 miles an hour and
14.
you pull up on a vehicle, you just kind of flare your chest out and you get that wind and that helps you kind of slow down quite a
It
bit.
stabilizes you too
Yeah.
because it's got pressure on you instead of just like braking and pitching the bike. But
Intel name changes.
yeah,
Shit.
so everybody is in agreement that they're terrible names.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
They should have just
Well, I'm the
stuck
only
with the old
Intel
thing.
fan here, so
I like
Ooh.
Intel. It's just they run so fucking hot.
Yeah.
And they're not
Or-
price
We're
effective.
getting you one Ryzen.
For a workstation
Chief.
We're saving
or
you
like
money.
a server
I don't know,
CPU
If,
or anything
but if you're doing
like
that, you go Xeon.
Well, that's true, but still,
And if you're going to go Xeon, you go Epic because it's better.
I just like AMDs because they're just cheaper and they run cooler. Which
They're better.
AMD has been the underdog for a while,
Yeah.
which makes it like now that they're getting in the lead is kind of sick. Like that.
what other topics we got going on? So Intel's stupid. You
So-
all knew that. I'm trying to fight against it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Intel. They work good. It's just they get so hot. Where they're just cranking the power limit up, where AMD's trying to like
actually
tighten up
tune
the
their
core
stuff.
clocks and stuff.
They've been re-releasing Skylake we're going on 8 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Because
so
Ryzen dropped and Intel went, oh shit.
yeah. So that's why now they're on the efficiency and performance cores thing. That's like
Yes.
that's their claim to fame, and they're like, okay, well, we'll just turn our power up a little bit, and now we win. That's why the X3Ds are so good because they'll just like, we'll just tweak it, add some more cache, and it's faster now. Sorry.
Well, so speaking of computers and technology and stuff, what is your internet update?
So
I've been dying for like 3 days to hear this.
yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, I moved into this place about 5 months ago at this point, and I have been having internet problems for probably the last 2 or 3 months where it will randomly just reset the modem. It'll be working fine. It'll kick off, wait about 30 seconds, come back on. That's fine throughout the day, but whenever I'm like gaming or something, it'll kick me offline, kick me out of the match, and I have to reset. That sucks.
Yeah.
'Cause when I moved in here, the original internet that was here was 15 megabit. And I'm like, what can I get? And they're like, we offer a 75. And I'm like, fucking run that up. Like, let's go. Like, that's perfect. And they're running fiber here in town. So once I get moved onto fiber, I can go up to like 100 or 125, which I don't really need for just me, but it might be worth it.
Well, and a little bit of backstory. So they've ran fiber from the node in town to everybody,
Yeah, to everybody's property.
but the node is ran still on DSL, which is
Which is what I'm running right
dial
now
up
still.
shit.
It's telephone cable, not,
Yes.
not even Ethernet cable.
Yes.
Which
So they need to do a little bit better,
I think they're going
Future
to try to get the
planning.
whole town switched onto fiber,
Which makes
then
sense.
upgrade the node.
which makes sense.
That way they're not outrunning the ground cable or
Yes.
the buried cable. Anyway.
Because I think if you upgraded the node and then ran fiber, you'd have way more problems.
Well, that's kind of where this leads is since they bumped my speed up, now I'm outrunning the DSL connection that comes into this place. So what they were assuming is it's kind of overheating the conductors in the cable and just it's losing it. The signal's degrading to the point where it loses it and tries to reconnect.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, we contacted them Tuesday and told them kind of what was going on. They checked it on their end and said, yep, that's exactly what's happening. Okay, we'll bump your speed down. That should help stabilize it for right now.
Did they cut your bill?
I don't know yet. It's only been since Tuesday. Probably
okay.
not because they said, well, once you hook up to fiber, that problem's gone.
Oh, yeah.
And we've already got it ran to outside the building. So it's like, okay. It's like,
Okay.
they're like, and because my boss was talking to him, he, runs the shop part of this. And he's like, well, if you just give us the fiber, we'll run it. Like, it's not that big a deal. And they're like, fucking, here you go. Here's a spool of fiber. Like we've
Small
got
town things.
we got like a 12-inch spool of fiber optic cable downstairs.
You want me to bring the splicer?
No, they'll splice it because we have to go through the wall and then splice it into the ground connection. So they'll take care of that.
Oh, all right.
And then they're to upgrade the modem too, I think, because mine doesn't have a fiber port
Nope.
or an SFP or whatever port it is.
SFP.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Which-
they have SFP plus.
They make the you can take an Ethernet and put an adapter on it. I think Intel makes those cards, but
Well, you know what? that is kind of going back to the Intel stuff. I will fuck every day. That was
Clip that. Clip that.
Tori wants to know your location.
Horny
In-
bunk.
Intel networking stuff. That's the only thing I buy.
It's real.
Oh
good.
yeah, Intel networking stuff. Is good.
Intel networking, hard as a fucking
Yeah.
rock.
Any Intel.
Never falters, never glitches.
Yeah.
Nothing.
If you're looking for just a random product and you see Intel on it, you know it's at least gonna work.
I mean, you're gonna
Yes.
pay for that name, but like my DAC card for my
Works.
computer never has had a problem
No.
ever.
Right. And at the speeds that I'm at, like if it's a 1 gig card, I'd be a tenth of that power anyway.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know.
Probably just be better off going SPF.
I'm assuming that's
Anyway.
either that or it's a modem with fiber and a fiber injector built into it.
Yeah.
Which is the
Yeah.
same thing, really. It's the same decoder in it, inside of the modem instead of outside of it.
Right.
You just can't replace it. But either way, so they said, well, whenever you run the fiber from your internet modem down to the where the fiber line is outside, we'll hook it up.
So
Great.
you have to just bring it to
So
the
from
wall.
my modem, I have to drop it down through the wall into the shop, from the shop all the way over to the garage door right by the street.
And then they'll run it from there into the vault.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
literally sticking up right by our power meter.
Oh, nice.
Literally, I need to drill a hole through the side of the concrete block and then just put it outside. They'll be like, okay, splice, you're done. You're on
Cool.
fiber now.
It'd be a nice little weekend project.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably take
Yeah.
half an hour to run that
Yeah.
cable.
It's
they
going to
can
take
just-
you more time to drill the holes than it will to fucking
Yeah, I
run
need
the
to drill,
thing.
like, I'm trying to figure out how to run that through a cinder block wall. It's like,
A masonry bit.
thank you. I know how to drill a hole. I'm trying to decide what to drill into it.
Yeah.
Whether I drill like a 3/4 inch hole, put PVC in there, put the line through, and then like silicone the ends.
That's probably
Yeah,
what my
I would
dad
do that.
That's like
I would do that.
that's kind of what our thought is. That way, it's in a soft plastic sleeve
Mhm.
compared to like running through. It's not. We're not
mean,
gonna run it bare through brick,
No, but I mean, and that sheathing on that is
It's
pretty
thick.
durable, but
especially the stuff we've got. The
you
cable's
know,
probably a 1/4 inch, or it's probably more like 3/8, and the inner liner is like an 1/8.
yeah.
Like it's most of it is shielded.
Yeah. So I would play it safe and put a PVC insert through there and
Yeah.
I'm
caulk
gonna
it
get
up
it
and
ran
everything.
from the modem all the way down to the door.
Mm.
Then me and the boss man will drill the hole
Yeah.
and run that, since it's his building. I don't want to drill a hole through the side of it and just be like, hold there now. I don't have the
Yeah.
masonry bits here anyway. He has them out there, so out at his house. So in theory, I can be on fiber probably Monday, realistically.
Nice.
You know, if I end up running it Sunday or something, depending on what's going on. But yeah, quick little project to do that. The problem is I have to be really careful where I start running the wire from,
Yes.
because I can't cut it. I cannot tuck it behind anything because it's on a spool.
Yeah.
So I have to start somewhere that can get all the way to where I'm going and all the way out to the door.
Mm-hmm.
So if I start at the end, I'm trying to pull a cable 200 feet.
Yeah, and you don't want to really.
You don't wanna pull
that
fiber.
much. You can pull it, just not.
But if it gets
Like
caught on
crazy.
anything and kinks, it's done.
Yeah.
You have to cut that and redo it.
Well, and that's what they have testers and everything for.
Right,
so.
of course. So
Are they gonna let
How
you
big of a
keep, are they,
spool do
are
they
they
give
gonna let
you?
you keep the whole spool when you're done?
no, they'll take the spool back.
Bitches.
I mean, it's a 12-inch spool and it's probably a third left on it. I mean, it's probably a couple hundred feet.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
I'll show you.
amount.
I'll show you it when we're done.
I'll say I want to actually.
Yeah, I
shoot
want to see
fiber.
that. Yeah.
It doesn't look that exciting, but
I know, but I just want to.
But
I
yeah.
mean, when you do the project, I want to come over.
Oh yeah, I'll be super hyped.
I don't want to think of Raisin Bran cereal. I want to see a.
It literally just feels like
I don't want to think of fiber. I want to think of fiber.
You know what? Remind me,
Fibre.
and maybe tomorrow. Long story short, one of my tower sites, MTCO, which is a company for us around here.
that's what I do all my speed tests through is MTCO.
Yeah, that's what my phone came
Yep.
up when I just did it, like before we went live.
Yeah.
They lost the building that they were at. They had a note at, so they actually moved into us. So
Oh.
they
Right.
had to fully redo our entire fiber line there. So I actually have a couple feet chunks of the main
Feet.
line, which I believe is 32.
I couldn't tell you.
Well,
Probably.
they come in 3264. I know, like a main trunk line is 256.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean,
Or
yeah, they're all
no, sorry, 228.
interesting.
I know they do it.
Oh yeah,
weird.
'cause it's 56, not yeah.
Yeah.
because they're in pairs.
Right. Which I don't know why
Makes
it's,
sense.
I don't know why it's not 32, 64, 256 like everything else on the planet. But either
Yeah.
way, it's
But-
probably like it needs
So
to
when
be.
you refer to these numbers, what the fuck are you talking
How
about?
many-
the actual
How many-
strands of fiber that are in that line.
how many wires are inside that
Okay.
one sheath?
I'll remind me after this, and I'll try to remember to go to Streeter tomorrow.
Yeah, like an Ethernet cable's 8. There's a total of 8 connectors inside it. It's the same idea.
That
just,
I can picture.
just bigger and
Yeah.
fiber, which is I love fiber.
Yes.
Plus, fiber is really good because it cannot get electromagnetic interference.
Nope.
It's just not possible because it's light. There's
So what
nothing
is the fiber made out of besides
Glass.
fiber?
essentially
Glass.
glass.
It's a specially made and pulled glass.
So when you take a tube of glass and you shine a light from one end to the other, you
A
won't
solid piece
solid
of glass.
piece.
Yeah.
You won't see it looking at it sideways.
Yeah.
It will
can
only be
only
on
see
one
it.
end to the other.
Yeah.
It's the same
It's like
theory
light
of it.
refraction and shit.
Yeah, it only bounces down the line. That way,
So-
there's no loss in
okay.
transit.
Basically, it's a specially made glass, so it's somewhat pliable. I mean, you can't bend it in half; it'll snap.
Yeah.
But I
This
mean,
bends
you
like a
can-
2-inch radius. It's pretty
You
good.
can basically go from straight to kind of a loop,
That's
and-
about what the loop is.
and,
on
you,
there.
and you'll
Yeah,
still be
yeah.
good. And then I believe they put a special coating on it to help with the fraction bouncing. Through
Yeah,
there.
so that way you don't lose light into the outside.
So
but
it's some
Gotcha.
interesting stuff. I'll bring
Yeah.
some.
it literally it is the fastest transport speed for data possible right now.
Yeah.
because it travels
Which I
at the speed of light.
this is all I knew about fiber. Was like it's fast as shit, boy. It's
Yeah.
the fucking future.
Let me tell you,
Pretty much about
the
it. Which I'm getting it installed
splicers-
in my neighborhood, so I cannot wait for that to happen.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to
'Cause
get that.
I'll be like fucking $30 cheaper a month, and I'll have
Oh.
4 times. Or I'm paying for 400 megabyte right now, and I'll get 2,000 once it's done.
Cringe.
So
Fuck you.
Pull like 4.
well, the fact that I've overpaid for the last 3 years
Because
I
you never-
don't be
I've
jealous
given
of that
you-
part, Mark.
because you never
I'm not.
called them.
Yes.
What I don't.
But
It's fucking over soon.
I know how you feel with that because the
They were installing shit
Illinois
today.
the Illinois fiber iFiber line is
Yeah.
20 feet from my house,
Mhm.
but they can't fucking legally hook it to my goddamn house.
You had to form your own ISP to then run it to their node,
Well,
which is
because
just in your
they're
house.
not licensed to do a residential,
Residential.
yet.
That was the issue when I worked at Connecting Point too. They
Yeah.
can't do it as
Just
residential.
please,
Which I think-
just want fiber internet.
I think we'll eventually here in town we'll get hooked onto that iFiber line.
You should because it runs.
It runs basically right
through-
right next to
town.
the town. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, they're gonna fiber the whole town and then connect it to the main line and be like, hey, your 100 just went to 1,000. Like, congrats. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably enough of that internet nonsense.
Well, let's talk about this weekend.
let's talk about
I'm
real life.
fucking
Yes.
hyped.
For you
So
guys.
Pew.
this weekend in Iowa is an event called GunCon.
Is this the first year of it? or
no, they've done
Okay.
it for years. I don't know when they started actually.
Sponsored by Brownells.
This is at the Brownells manufacturing plant. I don't know if it's technically it's their warehouse
It's their
depot in
warehouse.
Grinnell, Iowa.
Yeah.
So
Which is like just before Des Moines.
it's just before Des Moines. Yeah, it's basically, it's in between Des Moines and Coal City, Carson City. There's some other
Carson
city.
City.
It's right in between the two of them.
Yeah.
So that starts Saturday at 10 o'clock, and then it goes 10 to 8. You had to prepay tickets, so I ordered 4. Turns out there's only 3 of us going. It is what it is.
Yeah, they were only $25 pop. That's really
Yeah.
not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know how many people actually go.
Sold out.
Oh, they sold out
Yeah.
months
Yeah.
ago.
Well, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
bring one there and
I
fucking-
bought mine when there was
look
like
for a
20
peddler.
tickets left.
I don't think you can do that because you have to sign the waivers.
Well, the waiver isn't per ticket though. It's a blank.
Oh, okay.
Like anyone could sign that waiver.
Mm.
I think you fill it out when you get there, or you'll all have my name on your cards. Which, okay, whatever.
Oh, are we gonna get like little press badge,
I
like
don't-
lanyards? That'd
I'm
be
assuming
sick.
so. That
probably
way
just guest and Brian. Brian.
yeah, like because
But
when I bought
still.
them, I expected to be like guess 1 name, guess 2 name. It didn't do that. So, but there's a bunch of cool creators there. Nick's got it pulled up. Do you want to run through just a couple? Or
Sure.
I can run through big names if you don't know anyone there. But
No, I was looking for Gun Drummer, but I don't see him on
that
there.
might have been last year's. 'Cause I know Marcus was looking at it when you had mentioned that. That might have been last year's lineup.
As I
but
say, that was really the only
the
gun
one,
YouTuber I really watch.
yeah, because I know most of these guys, so I could just run through them. as
Which
you
is
scroll.
sad
go
because
for it.
I'm looking through here
So
now
we've
and I
got-
don't know a single one of these guys.
So it's hosted by the Gun Collective. They're the ones, essentially, they're the main sponsor host of the event, or the main host sponsored by Brownells. Along with them, they've got Tactical Toolbox, Mr. Guns and Gear, Guns and Gadgets will be there. Keep on scrolling nice and slow. A lot of these, like, I've heard the name, but I don't watch enough of their stuff. Keep on scrolling. Tactical Considerations is there. Jay the Shooter's there. High Caliber History's there. Dangerous Freedom's there. Tactical Rifleman's like it's a big meetup.
Not to mention the sponsors.
The sponsor list
Oh
is
my
intense.
God,
yeah.
yeah.
They're sponsored by Henry, HK, High Point, Blackout Coffee. Like there's so many. Like
Let's
Remington's
see.
on there.
Yeah, Remington's on there.
I think Timney
Stag
Triggers.
Arms.
They got a whole bunch of cool
Um,
names in there. Yeah. Like it's a big.
Oh, Streamlight. Streamlight's going to be there.
Streamlight's-
That's going to be
I love
sick.
Streamlight.
High Point.
High Point is actually like on the sponsor list. I'm like, bro, I can't wait to bully the High Point
I
people.
hope they bring all their meme guns, like the
They do.
the $100 one,
The dollar bills, High
Yeah.
Point. Yeah. Like,
all that shit.
oh, there's a lot of cool stuff there.
I am super fucking excited.
And since it's no longer in Illinois, we'll
What
actually have to
happens
look
if
at
I hit no, I'm under 18.
it. Just redirects you. Yeah,
Get fucked.
get rolled. Do-do-do-do-do. But yeah, it should be a really cool event. So we're driving down Saturday morning because the event starts at 10.
Mhm.
Yeah,
we'll
what
probably-
time are we leaving?
6.
3 hours before, a little over 3 hours before that. So yeah, 6-ish.
Time for gas and breakfast.
Yeah,
And
little
poop.
brekkie.
Brecky.
And once I eat breakfast, an hour into it, I'll have to poop.
Yeah. So while we're down there, we're meeting up with Sam, the owner of Shyworks Custom Cerakote. He's one of the guys that I'm meeting there.
Oh, I didn't know
Oh,
you
'cause
had
'cause of
actual
that
people.
forum?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know him relatively well at this point. Like,
Gotcha.
so I'm meeting him, one of his buddies, Miles. He's trying to bring his brother, but he doesn't want to. Like, he wants to come, but he has stuff going on. But he's trying to bully him into showing up
Is
anyway.
Brad not available to come? Your brother?
I asked him about it, and he's like, "I'll look into it," and then never said anything. So I'm assuming not.
You can
Damn.
mention
Or
it.
if he is, it's too much work.
or not, because then he'll be in the front seat because he's a large
'Cause he's
man and will
much-
be stuffed in the back.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what else? No offense to your brother.
you think I
You know what'll fucking happen if he shows up?
We're gonna get
We're gonna get
fucked
really
up.
fucking drunk.
Well, we might anyway.
Not
yeah,
only
I'm hoping
that,
to, but yeah.
But
He's gonna win all.
he'll win the
raffles.
fucking goddamn giveaways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, true.
He's
And then he'll go, haha, eat shit. Because I swear to God, every
Yeah, he is a lucky
fucking
bastard.
time I see your brother, hey, Marcus, you want to see the new gun I won? And
Yeah.
it's like, Brad, this is the third time I've seen you this year. How the
Yeah,
fuck do
every
you keep
time I
winning
see you,
these?
you
Yeah.
have a new one.
Yeah.
Literally.
literally the last one he won is a bolt action precision rifle
Pisses
with
me
a
the
thermal
fuck
on it.
off.
Like,
Yeah.
bruh, like the scope is worth more than the gun. It's like a $5,000 scope. Like thermals are insanely
That's just
expensive anyway.
nuts.
But he just wins. He enters all of them.
He
to be
does
fair,
enter a lot.
but he is up good money right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fuck.
Yeah,
So,
we'll
yeah.
be doing that Saturday.
that's our plan for Saturday. If
I can't find.
I don't know, Sam wasn't sure if he was going to stay the night or not because I think one of the guys he was going to ride with, or the guy he was debating on riding with, was going to go there and back that day.
Mm-hmm.
And hotels are probably all booked up anyway by now. So
Yeah, we got one, but
yeah. In theory, he could sleep in our room, but then he has to go the other way, and I don't know. We'll see. But we're planning on meeting up with him and a couple of their guys, so that'll be interesting.
Nice.
He's a cool guy. They do a bunch of cool stuff. Shyworks they do Cerakoting on firearms, which is like super cool graphics designs. They do a lot of like the Milwaukee Glocks. You'll see a lot of their stuff goes hyper viral, like because he does amazing work. So be cool to meet up with him and
Think I could give him the dirty 30?
to do what with it exactly? Like restore it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he could handle. Well, he could do all the metal parts. He'd do them in like an elite black Cerakote and look super nice.
Ooh, that would look nice. As
He could all.
Fuck.
He's
And then
also
I
got-
can't- me and
do
you
we have
could
to wait for
redo
their
the-
lead times?
Oh yeah, it'd be 3 months.
Okay, I didn't know.
that's
I didn't know
fine.
because
Well,
you know the owner.
I haven't asked him about it. I guess. I mean, I might get it down to like 2, but
Okay. Honestly,
Realistically,
might
I
though-
I could deal with that.
it might be like getting stuff done from Steve, where if you know him, it takes longer.
Oh,
I'd be like, oh, you're not in a rush, right? 2 years.
Long story short, I
18
have
months is
a
going rate.
Marlin lever action 3030. That was my grandfather's, and it needs
It just needs refit.
it
Gone
needs some
through.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it just has
needs-
a little bit of surface pitting and a little bit of rust that just kind of irks me in the wrong way. So I'd really love to
because he'll
drop good money on a good person to go
Yeah.
through that gun and
for like
just
I'm sure
fully
for like
redo it.
under $300, he would.
300.
Yeah,
Fuck,
like-
I was ready to spend like over $1,000 to
Oh,
get that
no,
fucker
no, no,
done,
no,
like
no.
fully done.
Yeah. So I think single colors are like 300, and like a
Oh, that's good
multi-stage.
shit.
Multi-stage, depending on what you're doing, is
Me and you
a couple
can
If I
redo
wanted
the
an
wood.
ooh gun.
Yeah, the wood's easy.
Ooh.
He could do that.
Ooh.
If you have an
Andy,
idea, he can
shut
do
the
it.
fuck up.
His work is impeccable.
You think I'm joking?
No, I know
Stick
you're
my
not
little
joking.
fucking
That's the
9mm
problem.
pistol.
Oh
in
my
me?
god, your carry fucking
Yeah, my air
sig.
fist-
Oh,
oh,
all
hey.
fucking animated. You imagine you get into an like a self-defense situation.
and have to pull that out in public.
Like, yeah, I got him with this. And they're like, why is your gun moaning at me? I don't like it. Yeah.
I can't find. Okay,
but no, he's the guy that can do anything.
This
Gun,
website is
colors,
shit.
coatings, designs. Like his work's always top tier. And his brother runs Ballistic Imagery, who does all their photo shoots and stuff,
Ooh.
who is
Oh.
also really, really good. But
Sick.
we'll see if he comes or not. I don't know if he's decided yet, but
Gotcha.
I
That'll be
can't
pretty
get
cool.
back to the website, but they have what 5 or 6 different talking points they're going to do
yeah,
seminars
they
on.
run seminars throughout the day. There's a medical seminar, a reloading seminar.
I'm
There's-
super excited for the medical one because that's kind of my
That's our weak
self-respected-
spot is
Yeah.
medical.
So
stuff.
you'll be at the stage and I'll be walking around.
I mean, I don't know how. Like, we might walk through the whole place. And
Oh,
tour.
yeah, this is true.
I don't know
Yeah.
how big it's really going to be.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
fact
and
they
that's
have
the thing.
In my head, it was
seminars,
gonna be like fucking shot show.
That's the thing.
It won't be
too.
shot.
So
it's
they
Midwest.
have,
This is true.
a store.
yeah,
there.
Brownells is a store.
And
It
I
is-
figured that
we
was
can-
going to be
I-
open.
I
and
spent
then,
an hour in the showroom
Yes,
when
the,
I went there.
the store will in fact be open on that day, I believe.
But are we also maybe going to get tours through the production side of things? Because I mean, it's a big ass fucking building.
I don't know what they actually do with that. I don't know if it's just a warehouse or if it's a product. If they produce anything,
I'm
there.
pretty sure it's production. Like
Yeah.
it is a fucking big building.
Whatever's there, I'm pretty sure is gonna be basically open to
The
us.
showroom, the
showroom's
showroom is
big.
as big as your shop down here.
Yeah,
the,
the
the new shop.
The showroom
Yes.
is probably 5,000 square feet.
yeah,
it's-
it's quite large.
That's like every pistol on every rack is laid
Yeah,
out.
and it's all like they're tethered.
Yeah.
So you can pick them up, fuck with them.
Yeah.
Same with long guns,
Yeah.
shotguns.
Yeah, like last year they had a display set up where like it had every like AR trigger they carry in a line, so you could go down, feel one, all the way down, and
Which
see
sucks
what you
because
like,
we
what you
can't buy
don't.
any of those.
We can't get any of them shipped here.
Allegedly.
Yeah, if you're
Unlimited
paying
bulk.
None
cash,
of this can be held against us at a court of law.
we'll already be back by the time this airs. so
We
if-
didn't buy shit.
yeah, if we did,
didn't do nothing.
I can't.
I'm not worried about it. But yeah, so in theory, there's a bunch of cool stuff there. It'll be
But
it'll be our first time going down
yeah,
there.
I am
so.
very excited to see the medical thing because at some point I would kind of love to put together a fuck bag.
Yeah, like a backpack style, like
Yeah.
everything in it, unfold,
Mm,
or like
yeah.
a laptop sized bag where you could unfold it and have all the stuff.
Because
laid
I mean,
out.
I had my IFAC kit and I bought the biggest one that
You're not that
this
fat.
company made
Oof.
for that reason.
Yeah.
I do need to. So one of the things I tried to look into for a while is a couple years ago. Basically, the U.S. Army got a contract for
to remove all the birds. Wait,
no, that was in '76.
yeah,
It's basically like a tampon applicator,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
yes,
they're
yes,
they're
yes.
they're high contact sponges that absorb because it's better than
In
the
basically
clotting
Those are
agent.
gunshot wound.
in basically
Because
a syringe.
Yes,
Yeah.
because instead of a clotting agent that has to be opened back up, cleaned all out, and then sutured, they literally just take suction and suck all these up.
Yeah, you press in an expanding.
They are
plug.
$600 for one of them.
Yep.
Mm.
Don't.
I
get
did
shot
find a kind of a knockoff on
for like
a couple of websites
200.
for I think 40 a piece.
Okay, that's
It
probably
would be a decent idea if you get shot in the fucking leg.
yeah.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
But
I only have so
put a
many
thumb in
4x4. Yeah. I want to get that shirt so bad I have to order it.
It worked for Mr. Kentucky, but
This is true.
I
But
mean, that was
yeah.
also in the fucking neck.
yeah, he should have died that
He
day,
was
and
down
he didn't.
bad.
It's a miracle he survived that. God
Yeah,
bless.
But yeah, I'm super fucking excited.
Yeah.
And
no,
then-
it'll definitely be a day's worth. Like literally just looking at the size of the building in the showroom that I was in, like
Oh.
I could spend 4 hours in the showroom if I really
Their
wanted to.
showroom alone
we
is
could spend 4
pretty
hours-
decently sized.
4 hours
Yeah.
just looking at stuff.
Not to mention
let
meeting
alone-
some people Brian know and everything else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be a good
same-
time.
And then we'll probably get lunch or something. I don't know if they're gonna stay for dinner. If they're driving back, they're probably not gonna stay for dinner. But
Yeah. I'll say it said it ends at 8. So
yeah, they also have an on site. They have a shoot house. Not well.
That's what I thought.
That's what they call it. But I think it's just a range where you can go out test something. But like, there'll be
down.
there might be suppressors and cool stuff there. It's like
Their website does have suppressors.
yeah, well, because they're in Iowa where suppressors are legal,
Yeah.
unlike
Crazy, I
Illinois.
know.
Yeah, so yeah, they'll have a bunch of cool stuff there. Another cool thing that's going on this weekend is Pikes Peak International Hill Climb starts this weekend.
Oh fuck! I thought that was already done for this year.
Nope, it starts this weekend.
Yeah,
I think
probably
it's
for
I
the
think
fall
Sunday's the kickoff day for it. But
I hate to be this morbid, but it's not going to be the same without Ken Block.
no, I mean, he never really he wasn't.
Well,
he
he
was
was
in
he
Yeah.
was in experimental stuff.
Yeah, he's done it
as well,
and it's
but
cool. But so this is just a quick little about that. Ford Performance is bringing a Ford Transit to
Oh, I saw it.
Hell
I
yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
It is the
4.7 or
the
something.
SuperVan
4.2.
4.2.
Can you pull up a
Yeah.
picture for
I
me,
am going to
please?
pull that up for
It is
Jamie.
It's a
not a
nice,
van
vibrant
anymore.
orange, ain't it?
It is so pretty
Oh.
It's like blue and orange
with
and yellow, I
full
think.
aero package on it.
Yeah,
No
it is-
shit.
It is not a van
Mm.
anymore. It's
It
fucking
used-
sick.
So the SuperVan is something.
Oh.
There's pictures if you want to scroll through them, but the SuperVan is a thing that Ford's done for years.
Yes.
The original one was done in like 71. They took a GT40 shell and grafted a van body on top of it.
Yeah.
This is generation 4. Technically, this is 4.2. So version 4 has 4 electric motors and makes about 2,000 horsepower.
This thing is fucking
Version-
awesome.
Version
500
4.2.
for mortar.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Version 4.2 they built just for hill climb. They took
Pass
one of
it
the
around.
motors out. Nick's got it over there. But this is version 4.2. They took one motor out for weight balance. So it's about 1,500 horsepower. At
Still a lot of horsepower.
Yeah, at speed, it has about 2 tons of downforce on that gigantic rear wing.
God, yeah.
The batteries are liquid cooled because, of course, they
Well,
are.
they
have
would
to
have
do
to
it.
be.
Have
that much output. Yeah.
Oh,
fuck,
yeah,
fuck the
absolutely.
batteries. Just run fucking capacitors.
Well, pretty much. The regenerative
Run
braking,
gasoline, brother.
the regenerative braking alone is 600 kilowatts of regen power.
Kilowatts.
Yes, so
6,000 watts.
yes, so or no, 600 kilowatts, 600 times 1,000.
600,000.
numbers.
So 6
some
mil.
would say.
So
God
a
damn,
a
that's lot.
horsepower is 737 watts.
Yes.
So technically, that number times like 1.3, it'd be horsepower in regen alone.
Jesus fucking
It's
Christ.
a gigantic.
It's a
number.
race car. some
It's a
would say.
race car. Yeah, the whole thing is carbon fiber. Yeah, at 150 miles an hour is 4,400 pounds of downforce.
Papa, papa?
Yeah, it's
Carbon fiber.
it's all carbon fiber. Brakes are carbon ceramics, magnesium wheels. Like this thing is ridiculous.
Hey, my truck has carbon ceramics.
Hey, yo.
I don't think it does.
Not like that.
It
Not on that
it
level.
definitely does not have carbon ceramics. It has-
Carbon ceramic material.
It has ceramic material, not carbon ceramic. I can assure you, because carbon ceramics are 20 grand.
You have
Ceramics are
ceramic
like
brains.
$200.
well, you know, it's the
It's the thought that counts.
yeah. It's like when you put 1% in something,
You
you,
have
can
half
call, you
of
can
a half.
say it has that.
Yeah.
but, you know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that thing
Damn.
is pretty sick. So I'll be excited to see what that does at the
Yes.
hill climb.
Didn't Pikes Peak run last year? The weather was like foggy as shit.
Dude, every year
was
it's a
horrible
crapshoot all the
because
time.
Yeah.
last year was super foggy. One of the guys was running an Ultra 4 car up the hill.
Was that the one that
He-
rolled?
He overshot a hairpin corner, rolled off on the side, turned, drove back up the berm, and kept racing.
I think he was in like 4th gear. He was like, shit, click, click,
Yeah.
click, click. And took off. And it's like,
Like it
Hell
slowed
yeah.
him down a total of like 7 seconds or something.
get
Like,
after it.
rolled
bud.
off the side of the hill, turned, came right back up. Like it was amazing.
I think
Not
I have that
phased.
clip saved.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
he's in a full
Yeah.
caged
And
fucking race
and he,
truck.
and he races Ultra 4 where you roll constantly.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
have
it's
you
like-
ever seen like when rally drivers go off and they're literally
There's,
sitting there like,
Yeah.
well, shit, I'm airborne. This ain't good.
Hey,
I
hey,
love-
are you alive? Are you alive? Sick. Let's go. Start it up again.
Samir, you're breaking the car.
I love that.
Oh, that's a good
What are you
video.
doing?
Yeah, so it's just like they're just sitting in there, and you see the GoPro, like you can see the outside spinning in circles around. You're like,
Mhm.
they just don't like it's fine.
They don't give a shit.
They're used to it.
They're
by now.
harnessed into it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the coolest things going on
Nice.
this weekend, other than what we're doing.
Man.
Sick.
Yeah,
Sick. Well,
Sick.
yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I don't have
Yeah.
any other major updates going on.
No?
No.
I think we go ahead and call it there.
Yeah.
Pretty easy week.
Okay, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Take care.